Hello.
Howdy.
We're here
Every time.
every
Fuck.
time. This movie.
Oh, okay. We didn't need to get Reese involved in this.
Different every
it's just
time.
the intro.
It's okay.
Exclamation mark there. Oh, no, it's...
One of these days we're going to come up with
Period,
a way
period.
to just like do it.
I think that our haphazard nonsense is the way we do it.
Yeah.
I think
This is the way to
become
do
the
it?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard no specific
I think it would
complaints.
be
Like,
more
get your guys'
chaotic
shit together.
if we tried to plan it out.
Yeah. It would just, then there's this whole thing where we have to
Planning
adjust
is for
to
the
it.
birds.
Exactly. Like, who gives
Yeah.
a fuck about that? We're here to do this thing, and that's
All
what
right.
we're doing.
Well, welcome to Fuck This Movie. It's a podcast about fucking movies.
About fucking movies or movies
Hachi
with
machi.
fucking. Fucking movies sounds like
It's about fucking movies, man.
about fucking movies?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
There's some nuances to that
I think it's
phrasing
pretty
that
clear from the
says different
title.
things.
There's the comma that throws
Right.
everybody off, and the four dots is like what?
Yeah.
But anyway, I am one of your hosts. I'm celebrating today 10 years of service with my company.
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations.
I didn't know. I came in today.
That's pretty cool.
And you're like celebrating 10 years of service. Now, so basically, I worked for a subsidiary for 5 years, almost to the date before. So technically, I'm also kind of celebrating 15 years of service.
Huh.
But anyway,
pretty impressive.
That's
Did you
not
get a-
important.
did you get a
My name
plaque
is
or
Dustin
something?
Holler. To my right, we have the owner and proprietor of Take Action, who makes all this possible. He's too old to be cool. Mr.
I am.
John Brown.
That is my new catchphrase. Yeah. Too
yeah.
old to be cool.
Yeah.
This is
I didn't
the
miss it.
13th year of Take Action.
13th year. Okay,
Badass.
right
13th
on.
year.
Lucky number 13.
Fucking crazy. But yeah, here I am.
So to my left, we have Criterion Collector, Window Repairman, and Goodwill Fashionista,
Brr, brr, brr.
Reese Anweiler.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Reese.
Hello.
So last week was kind of a shit show, right?
It was. We do apologize for the janky audio that happened from a bad cord. We think
So-
we have fixed it.
There's one real loser here, and it's me, because it was my week to like present a movie, and like it ended up being like audio shit
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the road. So like
It
I feel
was
like
good.
I feel like I got robbed. I should get an extra picks.
yeah.
Yeah.
We can do
Yeah.
that.
I could do like we could do like snake draft, and I could do 2 picks in a row or something.
Right.
A lot of people were really excited to listen to last week's episode because
Yeah.
You know.
Is that confirmed?
no, it is. We've got all kinds of hate mail.
Oh,
that
my
was
God,
like,
we did. Yeah.
Piles. It just keeps fucking
Yeah.
flowing
It's
in.
still
it's just
coming in.
piling up.
That's why we had to delay this episode by a week.
So many stamps. So many stamps. So
Isaiah
much money
almost
and
got
wasted
lost in it. We
stamps.
almost lost our agent.
Oh,
God.
fuck.
Piles of hate mail.
So anyway, this is episode 11.
To make up for it, for your next episode, you could pick a double feature.
Ooh, a double feature.
Here we go.
Oh,
Fair enough.
so
Official double feature.
I've got it between 2 movies, and they are not at all alike. So we could do like just a funky ass, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
I'm waffle. I had my pick pretty settled, but I've been a little waffly on it. A little waffling.
I bet I could, if you need
I want
convincing,
you
I
to,
bet
I
I
want
could.
you to pick the thing, Mr.
you
Holler.
want me to pick the thing?
I want you to pick
Oh,
that
right.
thing.
So John Brown is essentially making the next 2 picks by making me pick
Oh
the next
no!
thing.
We essentially
I
made that
see-
pick like 2 weeks ago.
I see what happened. Yeah, no. There was a pick that John and I decided that needed to
Yeah.
be made for
Oh, yeah?
you, Reese.
For me,
Yeah. It needed
is
to
it
be
something
made
I
for
haven't
you.
seen?
For everyone.
Huh?
Is it something I haven't seen?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
But, we don't think any less of you for it.
Is it on my? Have you I haven't seen it? Like you've checked on my letterbox?
I had a conversation with you about it.
Oh, okay.
You know what? It's unimportant. We're talking about
Important.
next week's episode,
Yep.
and we're on this week's episode. So
Oh, yeah.
welcome
gonna be
to
dope
the
picks to
fucking
come.
of movies.
The fucking of movies.
So I just need to
that
ask.
sounded like a
you,
fantastic film name. The fucking of movies.
fucking the movies. Well, they have the Killers of the Flower Moon that's coming out soon.
That is a good title.
Which I think is a good title. Just before we get into what everybody's watched, did you guys hear the news? Like, it kind of came out that, like, I guess Scorsese like when they started like the production of that movie, realized that he hated his script and like kind of did like an overhaul. Like,
I saw a headline.
Yeah.
yeah. Like so, like he basically like they started like producing the movie, and he's like, wait a minute, my perspective is from like that of all the white people.
Yeah.
And this is like
Shit.
This is like totally about like Native American, like because the movie is about it's about basically like the first homicide investigated by the FBI,
Right.
and
Yeah.
like it's like Indian reservation kind of like serial murder type of deal, and he just had a realization where it's just like, my movie is like from the outside in. It's all about like the white people, and like I need to stop what I'm doing and like rewrite some of this shit and like flip flop that. So,
Oh, that's good.
well,
Yeah.
you know, it's interesting to me
Good for
because
him.
Scorsese, if you look at his track record, it's always about the white people.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's pretty fucking
yeah.
white for
Yeah,
sure.
so like the fact that like
He did.
he had this like
so, like-
self-realization, and he's gonna like revamp like halfway through and like start over. To me, it tells me that we might be getting some like next level like new age
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
fucking shit.
Yeah.
That
No,
honestly,
is pretty exciting.
people it was like in like a certain, I don't know, it was like heavily anticipated because we've known that he's making this movie called Killers of the Flower Moon for like 2 years. So it's like, when are we gonna get this trailer or whatever? And I was like, never really cared. It's like, I mean, if I like it, I'll like it. Like Scorsese has made
Right.
incredible movies, but like, you know, if it looks good, maybe. But I think you all are getting a little too excited for this, like
Right.
maybe over the hill director.
Yeah.
But then the trailer dropped and it looks incredible.
And,
Yeah, it
and I
looks
guess they also
fantastic.
flip flopped a lot of the casting. Like
Yeah.
the Jesse Plimpton character was originally meant to be played by DiCaprio.
Interesting.
Yeah, like originally that was the casting he had in mind, and
Huh.
like when he had this like reversal, he like they kind of changed things, and like so. I don't know.
Nice.
I'm really excited for this movie, and
No,
even
it
more
looks,
so.
it's exciting as shit for
But
sure.
based off the fact where he had the like self-awareness, be like, wait, I'm doing this thing, and it's just like the least authentic thing ever. Because like if you want to do a thing that's about like Native American culture, like you need to do it from the inside, not
Yeah.
from the outside.
Which
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
goddamn about time that we get some films for Native American culture.
I know. That's why
It's-
we're finally like getting over that hump, that initial hump of like Reservation Dogs. Have you guys watched that?
I have
I've
not
wanted
seen
to.
that, but
I've wanted
I'm a
to
huge
real
fan
bad.
of
The show is
anything like
Taika Waititi
native,
touches.
just because it's like my it's my family.
I mean, like
it's like I have a lot of ties to it.
Yeah.
I have my grandmother was like 25% Blackfoot, 25% Cherokee. I mean, like I've just got it in my family. I've actually got my uncle's 80th birthday is being celebrated this weekend and taking part in, and just I don't know, man. Like I have a lot of respect for Native American culture just
Oh.
because it's like in my family.
The sad thing is most of the time it's after their culture was destroyed, the best they've gotten is like movie props.
yeah,
Right? Like that's what Native American culture in cinema and in TV a lot of the time has been for a long time, is just like this quintessential fucking movie prop. You know,
yeah.
just this
Up
random,
until
this
like
character.
15 years ago,
Exactly.
right?
Well,
Like
I mean,
shockingly.
it's
I would
like-
argue-
there's no real diving into it. There's no real respect paid for the tragedies that happened. There's
yeah,
no real respect paid for the culture. It's just like this.
It
kinda-
wasn't really the culture that was destroyed; it was the people that was destroyed.
Well,
so,
yeah,
so
I
there's
mean-
just like less.
Well,
The culture is destroyed because there are less people to celebrate it. You know, like
well,
the
the people were destroyed, but the culture was waged fucking war on too. I
Yeah.
mean, the whole thing was just a shit show, and there's never been enough attention paid to what happened to the Native Americans in
So-
all of the Americas, not just Northern America, all of the Americas. Like it's a thing that we need to start seeing more of because
So,
it's a
Yeah.
very
I went
important
down a
thing
little bit of a
historically.
rabbit hole research project once I read this article, and like because there was a thing that came out where the lead actress from Killers of the Flower Moon, like who is native, like came out against like Yellowstone. about like how it portrays
Yeah.
like the reservations.
That's
and
honestly why I have had really no interest in that show.
Yeah.
I think that show is good. I do think that show is good, and I think that I would like implore people to watch it. But she came out against it. So like I read this whole article, and then like in the last paragraph of this article about why she's like talking shit about Yellowstone, they just happened to mention that she tried out for Yellowstone and didn't get the part.
Mm.
And it was like, wait, what? It's like, this show is trash. Is like basically
but
what
you
she
don't
said.
know what the tone and like broad scope of a show is just from like the bit of a script you'd get to
Yeah.
read while you're
Yeah.
taking off,
Yeah.
you know. And it was obviously
She said
like,
it was
there's not a wide pool of Native
implorable.
American actors.
There is
So,
not a
like,
wide pool. Because you
There's
see
not.
the same
There's
dudes.
not
You
the-
see a lot of Lou
right?
Diamond Phillips.
So like if a show is calling for Native American actors, there's a good chance every Native American actor in
Yeah.
Hollywood tried out for it.
No, that's
Yeah.
for real.
that is
Yeah.
very real. Yeah, there's a guy that did you watch Longmire, that series?
No.
There's a guy that plays the sheriff of the reservation in that show that's been in like everything that has a Native American tinge
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, they need they have a very small stock, unfortunately.
And it's because stuff of like up until like very recently you've
Yeah.
had like white people. It's like not every time, but like, you know, like people like even in more modern movies, they've just either the Native American characters have been fully background or
Right.
like a prop story
Yeah.
prop to
Yeah.
the white character, or they've
Or
been
Mexican.
played by non-Native American people.
Yeah.
Like
That's
white
the most
people.
common thing.
Which,
Yeah.
that's
Like-
alluding to the thing that I was talking about earlier. Hispanic people are actually Native American.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're only Spanish because the Catholic Church came in and said, "Suck our dick."
Yeah.
You're now Spanish.
I mean, similar with Mexican people, we are getting just finally getting to a point where it's like, oh, maybe not every portrayal of Mexican people should be as drug dealers and criminals.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like-
Yeah. We're catching up, folks. That's
Yeah.
the takeaway. We're catching up.
Incredibly slow, but it's
Anywho.
obviously it's just producing interesting art at this
Yeah.
time.
It takes a while. It
More
takes a while
voices
for
are
these
getting
things,
to
man.
tell stories.
You know,
It takes a village.
it does.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got to get behind it. That's for sure.
Indeed. So we're to the part of the show where I ask you, what have you been watching?
Going in usual cycling fashion here.
Oh man, this has been a busy one.
So I have
I'm
not.
glad it's been busy for you guys because
It's-
we had an extra week because we had some audio issues we had to work through and test. And it's goddamn, it's really important that we had that extra week
Oh,
because
yeah.
I had nothing to contribute to this section
Yeah,
a week ago,
Uh.
and like I've had very little to contribute over the last week, but much more than I did the previous 2 weeks. So
I kind of dropped the ball. I haven't been able to watch as much because I've been doing a lot of like promotional artwork, working on shit like that for the shop, and just a lot of stuff going on. But I have watched some things that are worth note, at least enough on the lower end of that. Well, first, did I talk about Wild Style on the last episode? I don't think I did.
I've never heard about that.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, cool. So that was one thing I got to watch
Wild Style.
on the Criterion Collection. Yep, Wild Style. So I am an avid hop head. I am a fucking hip hop fanatic. Hip hop is one of the most important things to me.
I'm a hophead.
Period. I love hip hop and hip hop culture and
I
hip
don't love
hop
hip hop,
music.
but I'm a hophead.
I'm a hop head on two fronts. I'm a hop
Oh.
head squared. Oh, look at
Oh,
that. So yeah, Wild Style was a movie made. I think it was late '70s, really early '80s. That was just a snapshot of the burgeoning hip hop culture in its like genesis, it's just like the formative state of the whole thing that spawned everything that we know of as hip hop culture now. And I don't think that it was I don't know if there were any actors involved, or there were that many actors involved. Like from watching the film, it seemed like they grabbed up a bunch of b-boy and rap crews and a bunch of graffiti artists and were like,
extras
hey guys,
turn leads, kind of a thing.
well, they're not extras because they were like the people on the street. I mean, the guys they
So
got
it's
in
a
this.
documentary.
It's a pseudo documentary that has like a story. It's like a documentary.
Docudrama.
Yeah, kind of. Like, they got the guys that were making the story on the streets and said, we're making a movie, and, like, we kind of want to have a story, and, hey, here's the story. Like, maybe you guys can play these, like, be yourselves, but in this story? And it was weird. I would love, actually, to watch a documentary about the making of the film to know, because it's really hard to tell. But, yeah, it's just all the guys that were in New York at that time doing the thing that they're doing. And it was a great capturing, it was a great snapshot of that culture as it was being formed. And for most people now, they would have no idea. Anybody that says they're a fan of rap music would have no idea who the fuck any of these people were. I mean, this was like, this was the very baseline formation of this whole culture. So I've known about it for a long time. I've always wanted to watch it, and it got put on the Criterion collection.
That's awesome.
And I caught it on the Criterion channel, and it was... Yeah, it's not like, it's not a film. There's not acting necessarily, but for a guy that's into the culture, it was super special.
But also not really a documentary, right?
Oh yeah, it was weird. I don't know exactly what it was, but I mean, some of the guys were the guys. I mean, they had the Cold Crush brothers on there.
But there's like a plot.
Five. Yeah, there's a plot.
Yeah,
for sure, leading up to
very
this big,
interesting.
Yeah, the plot is there's somebody coming in from. Some white person coming in because hip-hop is becoming popular, and the main character is a graffiti artist, and it's this person coming in to talk about graffiti and talk about the whole culture and do an interview with him, and then there's like this, they end up planning this show, and it leads up to the show, so the finale is this show in New York. I think it's probably in the Bronx, and... the culmination of the film is this show with actual rap crews of the time.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was super fucking cool.
Roughly what year is it?
Late 70s, early 80s. Very early 80s. Yeah, that's when hip hop became
I'll have to watch
thing.
it. It sounds really interesting.
It is super interesting.
Yeah.
It's super interesting if you dig that shit. So that was a cool thing for me to watch. That was one that was worth watching. I went through all the Godzilla movies finally.
You went through all of them?
The modern
No. All the modern ones.
Godzilla versus Mecha
Conda.
Godzilla.
Dude, the old Godzilla movies, I remember watching with my dad when I was a kid, and I haven't watched all of them, and I want to, but man, they're a bear to get through. Those fucking things are dorky. They're the dorkiest shit you could ever imagine.
If you watch about one Godzilla,
Oh, fuck.
Somebody pressed a button.
Somebody did press a button.
oh no, John, you must have pressed a button on your keyboard.
So we were talking about Godzilla. You might have had silence for...
There's a minute.
We're so fucking bad at this.
There's someone pushed a button. We're not going to name names, but...
It wasn't me. I wasn't even here.
Yeah, John, it must have been you. Look at that big old keyboard you got.
It's all right. Godzilla. So, man, that means you missed all my cool stuff about Wild Style and awesome hip hop movie.
No, there was good stuff there. Like,
okay. Anyway,
we don't know where it cut out.
We only swapped over for like.
Eventually, we'll actually be good.
We were talking about current day Godzilla movies and shit.
Yeah. Goddamn. All right.
They're
Eventually,
fun.
We'll be good at this. Godzilla.
We'll always be trash.
There's always going to be something we
born
do.
in trash. And we'll fucking die.
All right.
Trash.
So Godzilla stuff. New Godzilla movie is pretty good. The first one is the best. It has the most serious tone.
Yeah. I think it succeeds the most because it focuses on the interesting human relations instead of just like generic human interactions that feed the monster plot.
Sure. No, it actually identifies. So I do think the whole series of the Godzillas, the new ones, do like look at Godzilla as a character and give him
and I like that
an identity, and that's important.
Godzilla 2000 was just like Jurassic Park Part 4.
It was a piece of shit. Yeah,
is that the American one? Because there is a Japanese one called Godzilla 2000. I don't know.
No, there was a Godzilla.
The one with Matthew Broderick.
Yes,
The one with
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, that one's just god awful.
It's a dinosaur movie. It's literally like fucking Jurassic Park.
That one literally is just the worst Godzilla movie, period.
So yeah, the first one of the new series, fantastic. Second one, still pretty good.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the change in tone, and that change in tone is the insertion of just a really annoying comic relief character that kind of fucked up the whole tone of the thing. I feel like when I'm watching it, like it got into more specifics about the like potential lore of the world they're setting up, and I think that was probably purposeful to set up a universe.
I think its biggest fault is that it does all of the monsters at once. Like, it should have just been like 2 new monsters, like Mothra and Ghidorah.
I don't hate that it did them all at once, kind of, but it didn't do all of them because like they set up like 17 of them. Yeah, and they briefly showed like 8 of them.
But like,
how they really showed
how is it going in a future in Godzilla 5 when it's like Godzilla versus this monster that you saw in the background of Godzilla 2? It's like, well, I know he can beat him.
Well, that's the thing though. We never actually saw him interact with anybody in that film other than Mothra, Rodan, and
Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah. Yeah. Otherwise, we just saw them all bow to him after beating Ghidorah. My beef with that one is that it was kind of a bummer to see Mothra just kind of do the self-sacrifice thing, because I would like to have seen more from that.
Yeah, and you know they're going to bring Mothra back, and they made Mothra look incredible. The wings.
Yeah. No, I really dug the second one. The first one's definitely the best because it's the most serious tone. The third one is Kong versus Godzilla, which was fun.
Yeah, it's the most goofy.
It is the most goofy, and they completely threw away all fucking... like all the proportion established from the first 2 movies, or they just don't even care about that. Like it just changes through the movie. You have Godzilla fighting Kong, which Godzilla would obviously be a lot bigger than Kong,
but they have now grown the size
and breathes fire.
Yeah, exactly, and breathes either fire, depending on the Godzilla lore, fire or like a goddamn laser blast. Like there's just like Godzilla would just murderize Kong no matter what.
Yeah, that's the most annoying thing about the movie is that like I can't stay interested in the idea of these 2 facing off because it's not believable in any way that Godzilla would lose to King Kong.
I do think they did.
That is an issue for me too, because I actually am a huge Kong fan, just in general.
Are you serious?
I do. I do like Kong. I like the
like the other movies. Yeah. Not like this new.
No. The original King Kong.
Yeah.
I even like the Ang Lee. I think it was. It did the.
No, it's Peter Jackson.
Oh, Peter Jackson.
But yeah, that one's also good and very
different.
The Jack Black.
Very, very
Jack
good.
Black.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
And what's her name?
Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts is phenomenal.
Yeah, so
Peter Jackson's remake.
Those were really good, and like Kong is super fucking, and he's a super interesting character. The only real downside, I like what they ended up doing. I like how it played out in that film. It's just the proportion thing makes it all fucky. Now I do like how they handled it, because so the first scene in that movie is Kong's being transported on a giant fucking seafaring vessel somewhere, which was like the stupidest fucking plan. Also,
yes,
like, that whole setup was the dumbest shit. Like, if we let Kong out of this enclosure, Godzilla's gonna come find him. So we're gonna transport him on a boat on the ocean and be surprised when Godzilla shows up. You guys are fucking retarded. Like this. And then
they're like immediately switched to a plan that made 100 times more sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like airdrop the guy. So anyway, so you get the first confrontation with Godzilla and Kong. And Kong doesn't win in this confrontation because, well, he's on fucking water.
Yeah.
Godzilla is a thing that can breathe underwater. So he loses there. And the second time, Kong does win, but it's only because
He
of
has
a tool
Yeah.
that is fairly inexplicably introduced.
Yeah.
Not the best rationalization, but
Yeah.
so they give him an edge. And, like,
Yes.
so for me, as a film guy, like you give me something, and I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like, you give me a
that's
poster
true.
on a wall that justifies something, I can work with it. You gave him an axe made out of a Godzilla spine
Yeah.
piece. Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could get an upper edge there.
Uh-huh.
The proportion thing was still trash. The last confrontation, Godzilla does indeed whoop his ass, because of course it would have to happen that way. And I thought what they did with it was interesting, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just the proportion thing. It should have been like Kong
They could
riding Godzilla, right? That's
Yeah.
what it should have
Oh.
been. Him fucking let's go into battle, dude.
Oh,
Basically
yeah.
he's a mount, because that would be the proportionate
Yes.
size.
Yeah.
Accurately, so.
Yeah. And
All in all,
maybe
though-
that'll happen at some point.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
they've made King Kong a little too big. But Godzilla does keep getting bigger.
So the precedent set is they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They'll make the sizes whatever they want per movie.
Now I'm annoyed because the new one that's coming out next year is announced like the bad monster is going to be another King
Kong.
Kong.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
well, I'm not interested in King
No,
Kong. I'm interested
no.
in Godzilla.
So I guess if they do a really good job at cementing, because they did in that last movie, make the characters respect each other.
yes,
Right.
yeah.
And so that was cool.
Like
You got
there is
to-
going to be a team up.
Yeah,
now.
you got to the point where Kong and Godzilla respect each other. They're like a team now. They
Yeah.
definitely set the team motif in that last movie. So I'll watch it. Whatever. I love
I'm
fucking
gonna watch all
movies,
the
but-
Godzilla movies forever. I think
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just the modern ones are fun enough, even if they're not good. They're very fun.
Yeah, no, and
So-
they started out good, and they could get good.
Yeah, I think they.
They
Yeah.
just need to dial back the comic relief a little bit. But yeah, so fun movies, no matter what.
I think a mediocre Godzilla movie is 10 times more interesting than a good Fast and
Yeah.
Furious movie.
So the other thing about Godzilla.
Whoa. Why are we bringing up Fast and the Furious?
I'm
on
just
this
saying, as far as
podcast?
big budget AAA blockbusters go, I think
Yeah.
Godzilla is almost as good as it gets.
Yeah,
like Fast and the Furious 14 is going to be here before we
it's gonna
know
be
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
So the one other goofy thing that I would shit on for Godzilla versus Kong real quick is that the big bad guy becomes Mechagodzilla, which I could tell immediately that it was going to be Mechagodzilla, which is cool. Again, a bunch of inexplicable science that doesn't really make any sense, doesn't have to, who cares? The thing that's annoying in this inexplicable science is when they're going to the fights on Kong, Godzilla, fight Mechagodzilla, you got the cast of humans, which is the chick that's in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And
Millie
this-
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, this other dude. And they're trying to figure out how to help the situation, and they just pour some liquor on this computer that is in the base that made Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
But Mechagodzilla's on his own now. He's just
Yeah.
doing his thing, fully autonomous, fucking shit up. So how in the fuck would pouring some liquor on this computer that's not even necessarily his true control panel? Yeah, that was the one thing. I'm come
See,
on,
that's the
come
kind
on.
of shit you have to, that's where it's this is the stuff that's inspired by the original Japanese
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah,
Because that's
for
something
sure,
that
for
would show
sure.
up in the Japanese
Yeah.
movies.
All right, so after the Kong movies, I did rewatch my couple-year rewatch of one of my favorite films ever, which is The Fifth Element. And watch that again, which I always watch that every couple of years.
Very fun.
It's
It always holds
Bruce
up.
Willis and Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich, the only really good thing she's ever
Jovovich.
done. And, after when I rewatch it, she's not good, really. But
She's not good.
she does, for what it is a super genuine performance
Yeah.
in that movie.
It's
is
fully
good.
committed. It's fully committed.
It is. It's a good performance. She's playing someone that doesn't have to speak, but she nailed that one performance at least for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, they're goddamn. Every time I watch that movie, it never gets old. I remember I watched that movie 2 or 3 times with my mom when it came out, and I realize now that was when I was 11, in
Yeah.
the theater. Dude, that film never disappoints. So if you've never seen The Fifth Element, which I do know a couple of people, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said they never saw it. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? You've never seen The Fifth Element? That's crazy. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
I remember the first time I saw it, I kind of thought it felt like at the time, it was kind of like a modern day Blade Runner.
To a
It's
degree,
a
yeah.
90s Blade
Yeah.
Runner, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
no,
it's
the
not-
90s Blade Runner. Well,
I mean, yeah. I mean, at the time, that was modern day.
Yeah.
No, Blade Runner is like more. Johnny Mnemonic felt more like Blade Runner
Okay.
than that did.
Yeah.
Fifth Element was way too fun.
Brazil
Right,
is
'cause-
another. Brazil is one that is
Yeah.
like Terry Gilliam's Blade
Okay.
Runner.
Yeah, like the Fifth Element's way too fun for that, but it's like such a good story. It's a great like Gary Oldman. If you're a fan of Gary Oldman, it's a great fucking performance of his. Like
Yeah.
the whole thing is just stands out. So yeah, and then the last thing I watched, which I hadn't seen before, which I actually haven't finished yet, which I'm going to finish tonight when I go home. I have 10 minutes left. Is The Fisher King.
Oh, that's Robin Williams
And,
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
But it immediately became my favorite Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges movie.
Oh wow.
I love that. Dude, it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
I loved every part of it. Every bit of that film. Fantastic. Way heavier than I thought it would be, which I was told about it, but it didn't really like when you watch it. The weight hits harder
Yeah.
when you actually
Yeah.
sit down and
Yeah.
watch it. Like
We're gonna get together and watch probably this Friday. I'm hoping we're due to watch The Big Lebowski.
Yes.
yeah, I would like to watch it
Yes.
again. It's been a
And,
minute since I've seen
because,
it.
It's just an untouchable.
It is.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges.
It's got some of my
movie to
favorite
me.
dudes. It's got some of my
Yes.
favorite people in it.
I
got
love
such a
that
cast.
fucking movie so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching it basically like new, and I'm expecting to just absolutely love it.
Oh, yeah.
The
It's
Big Lebowski is like.
you can't not love it.
If
man.
I just said it was my favorite film, I'd be fine with that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be completely fine with accepting that as my favorite film. It's so good.
Yeah.
So those are the big ones for me, as far as
Uh,
watching a film.
Reese.
I think I might try to convince you to do Brazil for your next pick. Like you need to watch that soon.
Oh, well, his next pick is like in an hour. Or
Yeah,
something.
I know, but he said he was waffling, so like
He was waffling between specific things.
the secret is I think he's always waffling.
He's a waffler.
You are like decisive to a fault sometimes.
I'm decisive to a fault.
I think so. Yeah.
How so?
You are very stubborn.
I'm a stubborn person, but I'm not decisive. To
I
a
think
fault.
you rely on being decisive so much that when you can't make a decision, it almost like cripples you. If that's
Well, I
PC
can
to say.
always make a decision.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Do I need to recall you of Friday night playing Commander?
No, that means nothing to me. That was you guys were like, here are 8 trash cans, and you can decide which trash can you want to be your life source. And I
First of
was
all,
like,
Trash cans, what?
yeah,
the-
they were
the
all
decks-
bad.
No, they were not. You didn't even look at my decks. You looked at
I
the
looked at all of them, and I didn't want to play. Like honestly, we aren't getting into this on this.
Hey, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, we aren't getting into this on this. but,
I'm just
like,
saying it took us like
the-
15 to 20 minutes to
You
get
were
to-
upset
to
that I didn't make a certain
consider playing
decision, and
Commander.
the decision you wanted me to make was too good. I would have wrecked you all.
Oh,
So,
what? That would have been interesting. That would have been, and then you would have
That-
had the great night, wouldn't you?
No, I
Yes, you would have. Yes, you would have.
No, I wouldn't. I don't have fun like that.
Okay.
He doesn't have
I
fun.
don't. I don't. Anyway, this is like that was broken. Why don't you tell us about some movies that you watched?
Brazil. John, you should pick Brazil.
Okay, well, I'm gonna watch it regardless. I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch all
yeah.
that guy's stuff. And after watching The Fisher King,
I'm
It
so obsessed
cemented
with the 12 Monkeys.
me wanting to watch
Oh, yeah.
every
That's Terry
movie
Gilliam.
that Tom Waits has been in.
It is. That's why I brought it
Because
up.
He was in The
love,
Fisher King.
I am in love with the 12 Monkeys in general. I even
it's a
watched
great
the
movie.
series.
I need to watch
the,
that
the,
too.
The sci-fi generated series, the
got
sci-fi
canceled?
channel.
Yeah.
Dude, sci-fi.
No, dude, that
Oh, it didn't?
ran for like seasons.
Oh, I thought
watched
that
the
was
whole-
one of the shows you were
I-
upset got canceled.
I watched the whole thing within the last year. No, that thing went for like way longer than it should have.
I would like
And
to
it had,
quickly,
The cast was like minimal. Like these are like not great actors. Like
Oh, yeah?
you're like, oh, okay, I remember that guy from this other series that wasn't very good. It was like it kind of had that kind of a feel, but like the story and the writing were on point because that subject matter is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's
And-
just so interesting.
No, I've talked to John about this. I actually want to get a 12 Monkeys tattoo.
Yeah.
And I want it like the 12 Monkeys tattoo I have in my mind is actually from the series, not from the movie, even though I do love the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I just fucking love the concept.
Huh,
No, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to acknowledge how inexplicably good so many sci-fi series are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Versus like the movies they put out for sci-fi are fucking garbage. They're like just steaming piles of shit.
12 Monkeys the movie is a really good movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying like
He's talking about Sci-Fi the channel.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, yes. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that 12 Monkeys the movie is a really good movie, and it's got a great cast, and it's got a great director, and it's really well done. The thing I like about the series is it's not directed particularly well. Like the cast is like a whole bunch of people that like I wouldn't have chosen, but like it needed that time, right? Like story needed more time than 2 hours. It just does.
More time.
It's like you're talking about time travel in the most sophisticated way.
Yeah.
Like it's just so hard to make like a 2-hour movie and call it a day.
A lot of things should be reserved for series.
12 Monkeys the series. I want to say it's like a 5-season deal, and like it's fucking.
It's a big story.
Molly and I
for
binged
sure.
the whole thing in like I want to say like a month and a half, and it was fucking fantastic. Yeah.
But yeah, there's all the sci-fi series are so much better than the movies. They're all solid. Like Battlestar Galactica, the more modern one, that was pretty solid.
And I want to say this was one that like sci-fi had it and like dropped it or something.
Yeah,
or
they've done that a few times.
And then it got picked up by like who, like I don't know if it was Prime or Hulu that like actually finished it.
Yep.
But and you can tell,
thing.
right? Like you can tell, like around season 3, it stops being sci-fi and starts being Hulu or whatever. And it's just like all of a sudden, oh, they're saying fuck now. Okay,
yeah, for sure.
This is excellent.
Yeah.
It's the same characters, but like they've got new vocabulary. Yeah, that's always interesting.
Yeah. I did. We don't need to talk about it much because we've talked about it already before. But I did watch They Clone Tyrone, and I do highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I
think we may have watched that on the last. But yeah, no, I can't stress enough how much everyone should watch that movie. Everyone should watch that movie. That movie's fucking fantastic.
I rewatched Blind Spotting, which is just a really talk about like stories that like are finally getting to be told. It's a really interesting movie. It sounds off-putting, I think, to say it, but it is about like police brutality and shooting.
Is that the Gung Ho?
Huh?
No? Is that who's in that one?
Tay Diggs.
Okay.
And then like no one else you'd recognize.
Oh, okay.
Not Tay Diggs. Daveed Diggs from Hamilton.
Okay.
But it's very modern. It's got like you would like it. It's got like a rapping sub theme.
Sure.
It's
there's a lot of stories to tell in that. Like it's
it gets into like
oh, I'm so exhausted by those stories, but no, they need to be told, and they need to be told from all perspectives too.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of content left in that.
It's something that just has not been talked about in film, even though it's extremely
and not in the right ways, not in like they're not in an equal way, right? Like those stories of police brutality are always one way or the other way.
Yeah,
and
it's like, really can't you understand the cop's point of view?
Yeah.
You know, it's
but the thing is, like but there's also just as many like cops are fucking dirtbags. Like what we really need, and I will say that I'm not a huge fan of the judicial system myself.
Yeah.
But we need actual discussion.
Yeah.
In that front. Like real discussion.
There was a lot of pressure on his knee. He could have torn a meniscus.
The problem is that like, you know, it's been one-sided for quite a long time. You know, like, yes, we do need a two-sided argument, but it's like for the longest time up until like the last few years, it's been completely one-sided argument.
Well, I don't know. I've seen a lot of films that shit all over the police force. I've seen a lot of films that shit all over cops.
Well,
and
I mean,
I tend to do the same myself, and that's where it's like what we need is a conversation about the thing, as opposed to just shitting on one side or the other side.
Yeah.
It needs to be an actual conversation of why do cops tend to be pieces of shit? What makes cops bastards? What, you know, like,
Yeah.
we need like a real delve into the subject matter as opposed to just heavy-handed shitting on,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, this is just an extremely well done movie. I highly recommend it.
sweet.
I finally finished Paul Thomas Anderson's filmography. I watched his very first movie, Hard Eight.
I've seen that one.
It's good, but I would say it's definitely his least good movie. It's like
His least good movie.
totally
Well,
just
I mean,
okay movie.
when you start out, like you can.
It's for a debut movie. It's very impressive. It's
When you're
just
an
like
artist and you
Wasn't
start,
it
like you
Mank?
get better over time.
Mank. No, that's David Fincher.
Oh, David Fincher. Yeah. I get
David
those- I get
Mank
those
is David
guys-
Fincher's worst movie. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I get those confused. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm very happy. I've now watched all of his narrative movies.
Right on.
He is just a fantastic director. I think all of his movies are worth watching.
Yeah, like I love boring movies, and he like always delivers.
Yeah.
On the boring movie.
No, he does. He like
Yeah.
if you like boring movies, like he's your guy.
Yeah.
And they usually have like something behind. They have a deeper message generally, which
Yeah.
if you like boring movies with a deep message.
Oh, I mean, like on
any
its
boring movie
surface,
ought to have.
No Country
deep
for Old
message.
Men, or There Will Be Blood might sound like a boring movie, but it's like fucking just action packed with fucking like thrills and violence and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing that's so good about that is just the main character. Like
Yes.
when it comes to, and it's like the whole time it's just like he's like genuine but kind of not genuine.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole time it's
Which
like
is genuine for the character that he
knows
is.
something that you don't know, but like he's disguising it.
See, I
He's-
think almost what it comes off as if it's like he never feels the character never feels like he is doing anything wrong. He
Well, it's all-
wholeheartedly believes in what he's doing is good because it's good for him.
Yeah.
No, I
it's-
think
it's so
that's
good.
everything you just said. Like that is the character because
Yeah.
a fucking guy that's going to be an oil tycoon is going to be like
Yeah.
not telling you everything. And
Yeah.
is going to be holding up a facade and is going to be self-righteous. And
Yeah.
like, a guy that it takes to be that kind of person is a fucking ruiner of worlds.
Yeah.
Like, that person
Like
is
that's what the American dream is.
exactly
Like him.
like, that is the most bloodthirsty cutthroat capitalist
Yeah.
motherfucker you can.
Because I might need to think about it for a second, but I think up until like the last 30 minutes of the movie, he doesn't do anything technically illegal.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't kill people to get away with shit. Like
you know,
even like his workers and stuff die, but like it's at the time I think he could have got away with it, especially
Yeah. Oh,
in,
yeah.
in the place of like out in the West with just like
oh
very
yeah, no,
hard
he just back
those,
then
like,
was exactly like
workplace
he just throw
laws,
money
though.
at shit.
I
It's
just
fine.
remember the scene where like there's the like religious character who's just like, I think it'd be good if you like said a word and then said something nice about like me and the church, and like it's just like totally like fishing for like some kudos, and it's just like, and like he just kind of does it, and it's just like the whole time you can tell it's just like it just seems like very like that scene. It's interesting because it's like it's everything that he's been in the movie so far.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like it doesn't feel manufactured, even though you can kind of see that there's an underlying thing where like I'm doing this, but I fucking hate that I'm doing this,
Yeah.
and I want to murder this individual.
Oh yeah, the one when he's making him like confess at the church.
Oh yeah,
He's
that
like
too.
he's fully doing what he has to do by like fully committing to it, but he is like furious the entire
Oh, yeah.
time.
but without actually showing that he's angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
We've talked about it
top-notch shit.
before. It's
Top-notch
that's
shit.
just a fantastic.
That movie's
movie.
perfect.
There,
It's
there,
incredible.
there Will Be Blood is such a good movie.
Yeah, Hard Eight. Recommend all of Paul Thomas. I can officially say I recommend all of Paul Thomas Anderson's
with
movies.
a filmmaker like that, like I mean, I don't know, it should be assumed, right? Like
Yeah.
once
Yeah.
they've knocked so many out of the park, it's like
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
just watch the shit.
There are
there's going to
certain-
be a scale.
There's like a handful of filmmakers that doesn't really matter what they make from now on. It's safe to say it will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, and you should just watch it.
Yeah.
Like, for the sake of the fucking art. Like, you
Yeah.
should watch it. You should watch his films. You should watch Tarantino.
PTA,
you should watch fucking...
Wes Anderson,
Yeah, like,
Tarantino.
These are the
which
guys
you
that
only
are
get
the
one.
greats.
You only
These
get
are
one
the guys
more.
that are the pillars of this genre.
Yeah.
of this
The
art
Coen
form.
brothers.
Yeah.
Scorsese,
sure.
the Coen brothers, David
Exactly,
Fincher.
David Fincher.
Yeah. I Denis Villeneuve, I think he's already established himself as that of like, oh, anything he does forever is worth watching.
Martin
Right.
McDonagh is on my fucking list right now. I just can't wait to see what he does next. So I like I said to begin this, I have a shorter list this week. I saw a few new movies, and that's it. Even though we've had 3 weeks, I've only seen a few new movies. One of which should be on everybody's list. Art of Self-Defense.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
I did rewatch that, too, with the
Oh,
wife.
did I not?
And it's
Okay.
so fucking good.
Yeah, I did not rewatch it. I just watched it the one time in my fucked up form, whatever that might have been.
Yeah, with us.
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg. He's just, you know what? Jesse Eisenberg movies are just like always fun.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's no such thing
Yeah.
as the boring Jesse Eisenberg movie.
Not at least since he's like fully been an adult, you know, like
Yeah.
he probably made a few movies in his
Yeah,
teenage
like
years.
if it was
Sure,
a
there were
Disney
those
Channel
movies,
movie or
yeah.
some shit, then yeah, that's probably not good.
No, it's a fantastic film. It's
Yeah.
so much fun. It's so... I rewatching it, I don't know why I didn't connect, but like at the very end, when he shoots the dude in the face, which was just the best scene
Yeah.
ever, the most satisfying
Yes.
scene ever. All the illusions all the way up to it are so good. But and he's talking to the rest of the students after the fact. He's like, I punched him through the face with my, I punched a hole in his head with my middle finger, and I get connected like, oh, yeah, like fucking the master did to everybody.
Yeah.
The master just shot everybody in the face, and then Reese pointed out like, yeah, he's talking about this fucking, getting shot with a shot. I thought they were just being ridiculous. He was like, oh, the master was shot in a hunting incident. And like, I just wrote it off as just like ridiculous dialogue. And it's like, oh yeah, he just shot him in the face. So the karate masters of the dojo just been shooting everybody in the fucking face for the sake of karate. But their tenet is guns are weak. No, that movie was so good. So good.
Yeah.
So that was the obvious one that I watched. I also watched this, John Brown. This was on your recommendation. I watched The Host.
Did you finally? What did you think?
I finally watched The Host. It was good. It was good for what it was. It's a Korean horror film. It's a creature movie.
It's a creature movie. It's a monster movie.
100%
a monster movie. Yeah.
It's good. I don't know that it I think it kind of under-delivered for me for the hype that it had.
Yeah.
But for a creature movie, I thought it was very good.
So
Yeah.
the thing about that movie is that
I have nothing negative to say about it.
It's a monster movie that is actually about a family dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a monster movie about a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is really what it is. So it's a drama alongside a monster movie. And that's what I really appreciated about it, is that it's not just your typical monster movie. It's using that genre and that vessel to communicate this story, this kind of heartwarming story of this broken family through dealing with this monster shit. And the monster was super interesting too, which I always give points to a film that actually makes an interesting monster, and that's not just like some regurgitated shit. So yeah, it's still one of my favorites for sure.
I think that director, Bong Joon-ho, the director of Parasite, I think he's like the king of kind of showing you that you can't really watch all movies the same way.
Yeah,
that's
that's a really good way to
like
look
I
at
think
that
if you
for
watch
sure.
all of his movies with the same like vibe in mind, they're some of them just fall apart. They make no sense, you know. But
No,
other
I
of his
think-
movies are like very literal.
Yeah, I think that the movies that he makes, you have to look at from all angles to really get what
Yeah.
he's trying to do. He attacks a story in a lot of different ways at once.
Yeah, Snowpiercer is another one he did.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one's completely different.
He's incredible.
Snowpiercer's fucking so.
So,
Yes,
the
but
last
very
movie-
extremely different.
The last movie I watched, this is one I watched yesterday. I watched it on the Criterion channel, and it is in the Criterion collection. Is Exotica.
Oh, I just bought that Blu-ray.
Oh, you just bought
Like last
okay,
month I
yeah,
bought it.
yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Movie is very good. I was kind of unfamiliar with the director. Uh, I got hard, hard David Lynch vibes from him.
Oh, yeah?
And like it's not his material isn't like abstract like David Lynch tends to be, like with the storylines and stuff. Like there's actually a true storyline. He goes more of the route of like I feel like he tries to intentionally hold things from you.
Right.
Like he holds things back until you need to know, just so like to build the suspense and stuff. But like the storyline is actually natural and like something you can connect with, where as opposed to David Lynch, like you don't know what the fuck's going on.
No, yeah, you're just like
you're
along
just
for the
lost.
ride, like grasping at straws.
But the reason I thought Lynch is because the whole mood of the film is like, I just felt like I was watching Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Like the whole time.
Okay.
You know,
Nice.
like I definitely had that vibe, like and the vibe of Twin Peaks, if you've ever watched Twin Peaks, is just like undeniable.
Yo,
like,
it's
Yeah.
bonkers.
Yeah.
You're just in this
I need to
crazy-
rewatch it.
The fact that was like on a mainstream
Is crazy.
TV
No,
channel is
right?
insane.
No, that was the
Crazy.
first thing that really got me into anything.
Crazy. Doesn't make any
Uh,
sense.
It's
But
wild.
no, this movie is it's starring like a fucking dude that you've only seen as like a B actor. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Another dude is like fucking the dude who played Casey Jones in the Teenage Mutant
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles.
Which he's done some cool stuff.
I just saw him in something.
Yeah,
You know what he's in? Defendor.
He also looks
seen
exactly like
Defendor?
a dude that played in like
is that with
Woody Harrelson?
I've seen it. Yeah.
he looks
been a while.
exactly like the
that movie.
dude that played in like the Law and Order Special Victims
Yes,
Unit.
he does.
He looks exactly
He
like
does.
that fucking
They're
dude.
so hard to tell
No,
the
it
dude.
is.
It's annoying.
It's impossible
annoying.
to tell those two dudes
Yeah.
apart.
Which, on that note, real quick, if you haven't watched Happy, actually totally worth watching.
But that is not Casey Jones. That's the other dude. That's
It is the other dude. I know. See, it is.
Yeah, it's a thing. But anyway, Exotica, like I think the Criterion Channel did like a erotic thrillers, like fucking
Yeah.
like subcategory.
Yeah.
And like this happened to be on that, and so the whole thing, Exotica is the name of a strip club, which is the setting for most of this film. Although there are characters that live like above or below or next to the strip club. It's all so basically it's about a bunch of family dynamics and but at the end of the day, the majority of the set is a strip club. It's not a very sexual movie.
Right.
And it's like there's not a lot of nudity in it. And it's not really about the strip club.
So it shows like the fucking like after hours of the strip club.
It's
like
like
when they're cleaning
it's
up and
basically
like
so
closing down.
so the
and-
main character and I'm sorry I don't know this guy's name, but like you see the guy's been in a
The
million.
director is Adam
Atom with a T.
Atom
Atom.
Igoyan.
Egoyan,
That's fucking
yeah.
weird.
But the main
Fucking
character,
weirdo.
The main character is played by
like the main character is
Bruce
like
Greenwood.
yeah, Bruce Greenwood. Okay, so Bruce Greenwood is actually awesome in this movie.
That guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so-
guy.
oh, so-
He's the quintessential.
Okay,
that
so
guy.
Bruce Greenwood basically he comes to this strip club every night, and he has the same favorite stripper, and they have like a relationship. It's not a like fucking physical relationship. It's not a sexual relationship. It's not even like a chemistry relationship. It's just she gives him what he needs kind of a thing.
Right.
And like basically as the story starts to build, you find out that this guy like had like a tragedy where his like wife and child like died and like but like all you're really seeing is his day-to-day, like what he's doing from a business perspective, and then his nightlife is he pays his niece to babysit a child that no longer exists while he goes out to this strip club and hangs out with this stripper who has this like weird So, but then also
Weird situation.
Is he like having
but then there's
conversations with
also
her while
these-
she's stripping?
But then there's also these strip club dynamics where like the stripper is like the ex-girlfriend of the guy who like runs the sound.
Yeah, of
and,
course.
Like, and,
The sound guy.
and so like
with, I assume
No,
with
and-
awesome
and-
shades.
and so this whole thing is where this guy has like he's
The
connected to,
sweet
he's connected to the
goatee.
stripper on a level to where like it's not sexual in any way really. It's just about like she gives him what he needs to heal from his tragedy.
Sure. Yeah, just
And,
actual
like-
human, real human.
And
interaction.
then like there's a thing that happens in the film where like basically he's like the guy who's like the ex-boyfriend of the stripper like basically tricks him into touching her so that he can kick her out, so he can kick him out.
Yeah.
And so then it's like this whole thing of like, you took away the only thing in my life that was still good, and so I'm gonna murder you. And so then it turns into this whole like
quickly.
it turns into this whole violence thing. But this writer director, the way that he like frames his like masterpiece here is where like he's always holding things back from you. Like there's information in the story that he
Right.
hasn't given you, and he keeps like releasing it bit by bit. To where by the time you get to the end, it's just like there's like a harmony between all the characters, and like you kind of get everyone, and like I don't know. I was
that's
blown
really
away.
good.
That sounds
I was
really
blown away.
interesting. I wanna watch it
Yeah,
now.
that's
Like,
awesome.
I'm glad I
Exotica.
bought the
Like,
Blu-ray.
I wouldn't have thought that like, oh, erotic thrillers. Let me check that out. They got
Right.
Basic Instinct on this motherfucker.
Well, so
Like-
from your description, it doesn't sound really all that erotic anyway.
It's
Like,
not.
It's
no,
the
it's-
setting.
there's-
there's a
strip
few
club.
shots of some tits.
Yeah.
There's a few shots of some tits. But for the most part, it's about like
the character
like
dynamics
the strip
of the
club
people.
dynamic about like how somebody can get something from somebody that doesn't actually exist.
Sure.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
like how you can manufacture a like false relationship to like,
There's
get through.
there is a
other
lot
things.
of intricate
no
things
like,
that happen in that particular setting.
The
As far
movie
as-
was made in 1994. I had never seen it, and I was actually blown away. I thought it was like fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
Huh.
just a really really good movie.
Awesome.
Yeah, that
I
dude
just
has
bought
been
it
in a
because
bunch
it
of
was
bad
called
shit.
Exotica.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool name,
Yeah.
and that's just the name of the
It's a
strip
hidden
club in the
gem. You
movie.
think
Yeah.
it's just going to be like fucking 13-year-old, like hide your VHS tape under your fucking pillow, jerk off material. And it's actually a film. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, yeah, if you would have recorded that when your parents were asleep, you would have been disappointed because there's very little boobs.
Yeah.
Like,
Just a lot of really
there's a couple
heavy
nipples here and
psychological
there, but, like,
interaction.
not in the way that's going
You
to.
thought you were going to jerk
where you
off?
need to
Maybe you
go.
want to go kill yourself.
I actually, the last movie I watched, it could be seen in that category too. The Slums of Beverly. It's not the Slums of Beverly Hills from 1998.
It's got that.
Natasha Lyonne.
Who's in it?
It's got that
Natasha
chick from
Lyonne.
American Pie. The like fucking like. The one who was like a nerd that was like cool, but like.
Oh, they're red. No,
Yeah,
I don't know.
She was like I don't know. She was
Natasha
the one that,
Lyonne.
I don't know.
That's probably
I don't
her.
know
Yes.
the name.
I don't think Natasha Lyonne was in American Pie, but
Yes, she was.
she was in American Pie.
Yes, she
Oh,
was.
she was in the first one. Okay.
Yep.
Natasha Lyonne.
Oh, she does some interesting
Yeah,
shit.
No,
she
yeah,
does.
Yeah,
She's the lead. She's a
She was
teenager.
in American Pie?
Apparently, I don't.
What the
remember.
fuck? When do we... What?
Yeah.
But
have
Marissa,
no-
she was like the most mature person.
I have no affiliation of that chick in in that
Yeah.
at all.
she must have been like
I've
a.
actually
a-
seen the
a
movie.
third-
You talk
like
about
a-
the. I've actually seen this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
that
bet
I've
I
seen
guess
all of
why
it.
you've seen it.
I've seen a lot of it. No, I went to a party once where it was being played.
What kind of party? I
Um,
was just gonna say Marissa Tomei has like 4 topless scenes. In this
okay,
movie.
I've not seen those. I missed those.
I was gonna say that's probably why you'd seen it, but I guess
okay,
not.
Anywho, on.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great like kind of coming of age about a teenage girl. Like, it's really, like I'm kind of surprised that this movie's like 25 years old. It's a very unusual movie for the time, but I really liked it.
yeah. I really, knowing who that is, I really dig what she's done. A lot of interesting shit.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I recommend that.
Sweet.
I think it either was or is currently on sale for $5 on Vudu,
Nice.
Oh, right
which
on.
sometimes just decides what I'm going to watch for me.
It was on the Criterion channel for a minute, actually.
It's not on the Criterion Collection.
No, it's not, but it was on the channel, and that is the distinction. Which, by the way, we were talking about Exotica. That actually is in the Criterion Collection,
Yes.
and I know because it gives me that little circle with the C thing at the beginning, and so I know this one's actually part of the collection. It really get me. Oh, and I did not mention Exotica. It's a Canadian movie.
Ooh.
Fucking Canadians.
All those Canadian.
Those weirdo
I mean, like-
Canadians.
Oh, and the
It sounds very
David
Canadian
Lynch Canadian?
to make a thing like
there's
exotic,
actually
but not really
an
that
actress who in Exotica who is she's like a teenager when the movie is shot, but like she's actually like a person. It's like Sarah Polly.
Oh yeah.
You know Sarah. You know that's a person, right? Sarah.
Yeah,
Polly?
she retired from acting. Now she directs. She
Okay,
directs that movie
she-
last year, Women Talking.
Okay, Sarah Polly is in the movie as like a 13-year-old or
You
something.
you were not
Interesting.
you were not a person if you were a teenager.
That's true.
I actually, you know what,
I mean,
I don't disagree.
to yourself, I think you are, but not to the populace. No.
Maybe not to yourself. It's a weird time.
Yeah, everyone's different.
All right.
So
Are we moving on to the thing
we're moving on to the feature.
to the
Cool.
feature?
And this week it was Reese's pick, and we always do the we always got to start this off with like this week's movie is called 44-inch Chest, and Reese can give you the lowdown, but for the most part, like if you haven't seen 44-inch Chest, you might want to pause right here and go watch that movie and then come back to this episode so that you're on the same wavelength as us. And I also want to throw in at this point, I feel like I want to throw this in here. Like,
Can I say it? Because you might say what I want to say. That
yeah, probably.
I don't think it's going to be the most interesting movie to talk about.
Oh,
Is that what you're going to say?
no, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
My whole thing was going to be like,
A trigger warning?
there is a,
I mean,
if you don't like the word
both-
cunt, don't watch this movie. That should
both
be
a,
for every
on,
British movie.
there is a level of violence towards females
yeah,
in this
that's
movie.
Yeah.
that's-
kind of,
that's both-
trigger warning.
both shown and described that are probably more than what you would find in
Yeah,
any
definitely
other.
Yeah.
It's on another level. Like they don't
well,
pull any punches.
Yeah.
It would not be acceptable.
Literally.
now.
If you're gonna get offended
Yeah.
by a woman getting punched in the face, this probably isn't the movie
Well,
for
it's
you.
it's not just about getting offended. Some people literally might not want to broach those topics mentally for their own mental health.
It's not about okay. Yeah, that's fair. It's not.
No,
It's not about getting offended.
I'm backing your
I'm
warning.
I'm just saying that there's a and it's going to be in my like it'll come up again once we get into the discussion. But like there are both visuals of some female violence against females, and also some conversations about violence against females that are pretty detailed and pretty rough.
So
and
Yeah.
for me, it's not just like the violence; it's how the striking thing when I watch this film with that context is how it was handled with the characters in the movie. Right? It's
Yeah.
not just like, yeah, there's violence, but it's how the characters handle the violence. Because it's very nonchalant. It's very just like, whatever. You know, like, all this whole thing is on the pretense of this one, the main character, Colin. His wife cheats on him. And he brings his maybe gangster buddies. Really, it's actually kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because you don't really get confirmation of their
Yeah, they don't talk about their past
hold
crimes.
that thought for a second.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I want to send it over to Reese. Go ahead and set us up. Give us the give us the main details that we need to know. The
Yeah.
directors, the writers, the actors, like who are the characters that we're going to be talking about?
If you want to watch before you listen, it's currently apparently streaming on Tubi with ads. If you can stand ads, I
I
cannot.
can't fucking stand ads. Fuck ads. Fuck you.
just pay-
advertisers.
Pay, or get a hold of it your way. It is for sale on all the normal purchasing apps. I recommend Vudu. The letterbox description of the movie is: Colin is in agony, shattered by his wife's infidelity. So, I totally used the wrong enunciation with that.
Yeah.
Colin is in agony, shattered by his wife's infidelity. So his friends kidnap. I just can't read. So his friends kidnap the wife's lover so he can have his revenge. It's trying very hard to make it sound like action packed. It's not action packed.
It's just very much a psychological drama. Really, at the end of the day, very psychological. To
my knowledge, the movie does not like have any explanation for the title, but the tagline does want you to think there is an explanation for the title, because the tagline is "The Measure of Revenge."
Yeah. So we had a conversation about this, and the title is, I don't know, I felt it was obvious enough as soon as I watched the movie.
As soon as I heard it, like when you announced it, like 3 weeks ago or whatever, that this is going to be the movie we're watching, I just assumed it was about a chick with big tits. Like,
so
44-inch chest. Oh,
the moment that I knew is when you hear the guy cough.
Yeah.
In the wardrobe, and then all the camera is on the wardrobe they've stuffed this kid into. That's when I knew 44-inch chest, because it's chest, because this is English. So like,
I don't think they refer to that as a chest though. I think they would refer to it as a wardrobe.
So here's what's
what
fucked up. We haven't even got into the movie yet. We're already talking about the title. I don't know. I'm just gonna say that out front.
Well, okay, maybe.
So maybe the chest is about what they keep the dude
what?
in.
That's what he just said.
But there's also
okay.
There's also a scene where he's showing the chest, the dresser that he shares with his wife,
so
and he's going through it, having conversations with the dude. Like, I'm way ahead of where we're at.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's also like
his like imagination.
Closer to a 44-inch chest is like him going through the dresser and showing the private things.
What
that
we
share.
can agree upon is that it's most likely a piece of furniture.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or there's nobody with a 44-inch chest in the movie.
I don't know how big a 44-inch chest is. For all I know, I have a 44-inch chest. Like
48 inches is 4 feet.
Yeah, but like pants, right? My pant size is like
but that's circumference.
36 or whatever.
And so when you measure a piece of furniture, it's just a width, depth, height, and so that chest that they stuff the kid in is probably about almost 4 feet wide.
Have we hit the plot here, or are we just like throwing randoms
of a
out
torso
to
thing?
the
I think if you like.
But there is no reference.
Ray Winstein.
The whole thing centered around this. So this guy gets cheated on. His gangster buddies, presumably, we don't actually know if they're gangster. Really, how gangster they are? Could just be a bunch of old assholes.
They're underworld, like at the very least.
But
There's
we
some
don't.
kind of underworld.
We don't.
I mean,
really
they're
know.
willing to kidnap someone.
They're willing to kidnap somebody, but
so
we don't know anything about most of these guys. We know that one guy lives with his mom.
What we know is the setting. Like where this movie takes place is in a room, which you can only assume is like kind of a safe house because they all know where it's at.
It's a shitty safe house. They've made mention. One of them makes mention that they left it last night, so they're doing business here.
And it's actually kind of comforting that we don't know that, right?
Yeah, you don't need to. Really,
you don't need to know who.
There's an argument to say that they're not. It's like because there is an extended sequence where he's just like having a conversation with all of them, including his wife and the cheater. Like in his head, none of them are actually talking like that. I mean, you could just like.
Did we do the like?
I did the plot synopsis.
Okay.
I didn't. It's directed by Malcolm Vinville. He really hasn't directed anything else of interest that I know of. The more interesting thing is that it's written from the directors who wrote, or the writers who wrote Sexy Beast,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
very
And that makes sense
similar.
because I had 2 comps for this movie. I had 2 comps, and I thought that it was Sexy Beast. Sorry, I had 3 comps. Suicide Kings was the movie that came most to mind, which is a Christopher Walken movie that you should definitely check out.
Mm-hmm.
But I had written down right here: Suicide Kings, Sexy Beast meets Reservoir Dogs. And I thought it was those 3 movies kind of in
Yep.
in a ball.
for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Most notably, is the cast is very limited. Only technically like 7 people,
Yeah.
but 4 of those 7 people are Ray Winston, John Hurt, Ian McShane, and Tom Wilkinson. And even if you don't know those people by name, you've definitely seen all of them in multiple
And
movies.
the
John
5th
Hurt.
is, what's
so
what's the
good.
5th guy?
The 5th guy you might not recognize as much, but he is fantastic in this movie. His name is this him?
That's not him.
Is it the guy that plays Mal?
Yeah, the guy that plays Mal.
Stephen
Yeah.
Burkoff.
Yeah, Stephen Murkoff. You might remember him.
Nope, not
if
Stephen
you
Murkoff.
if you or no the guy that plays Mal is
That's not
also
him.
not him. Okay, we don't have it. If you're
Why
if
is
you're
he
a
so
Lord of the
listed
Rings
so
or
far
Lord of the
down?
Rings, if you're a you got it.
No, is he not even on here? Jesus. Oh wait. Is that-
If you're a Game of Thrones fan,
Yes. God, they list him so far down. Stephen Delane.
Stephen
Yeah, it
Delane.
is. Yeah.
You would know him as Stannis Baratheon from Game of Thrones.
Yes. But all of the performances in this movie, including the character that plays Ray Winston's wife, Joanne Wally,
Yeah.
just all fantastic.
This whole thing is just performance driven, and it's a really weird moment to capture in film
Yeah.
because it is all these these characters that you don't know a whole lot about that they present it in a way. They present these characters in a way that you can make all kinds of assumptions. Like,
They appear to be underground figures to me.
they appear, but
Yeah.
you don't. So
Or
the only
underworld,
Yeah,
you know, like
that's
yeah.
true. But like when you really look at what you get,
They don't
from
give
each
you anything.
character,
They don't tell you anything.
They don't give you.
Yeah.
They give you
and I love
Archie.
that about it.
Archie is the guy that was in the movie we did. Your choice,
Tom Wilkinson.
Tom Wilkinson. All we really know about Archie is he lives with his mom. That's all
Yeah.
we know about this character. Is he lives with his mom. Meredith, we get to know more about that he does a lot of shit. And actually, like on the rewatch, like it's kind of funny that really this film is kind of as much an expose for Meredith as it is a film about Colin, the
Meredith
main
was who?
character.
Ian McShane.
Ian
Ian
McShane.
McShane. It's as much an expose of Meredith as it is a
which-
film about Colin's tragedy. Because,
By,
like, he
by
just-
the way, I just want to take a second to recognize Ian McShane, and he hasn't been in as many like American features. He might not be as much of a household name, but there's an HBO series called Deadwood, and Ian McShane is the fucking man in
Yeah.
Deadwood.
Oh, he's super good. He's super
He
good.
is the Tony Soprano of the Deadwood series. So
He's another actor that just always commits 100.
no,
So,
no, and,
for-
yeah, Deadwood, he's on a whole other level. But
Yeah.
For me, the highlight performances of this film are Colin's character. Who is that played by?
The lead,
Yeah, the lead.
Ray Winston.
Ray Winstone.
Ray Winston. Okay. Ian McShane and John Hurt. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
those are the characters that carry this whole thing.
John, like, so when trying to break this film down, like, I came up with, I think it's a comedy. I do.
It's a pretty heavy comedy,
I
though.
do. It is heavy, but I think it's supposed to be a comedy.
It's so I think
You don't think so?
I think it's supposed to be like a psychological drama.
I think that this film
I think it's a comedy.
I think this film is a drama, but that's the thing. Like, this is a true drama, and a true drama catches everything.
I think it's like a comedy in a Guy Ritchie kind of a way.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It's definitely more like
super,
heady than a Guy Ritchie
It's
movie.
super
though.
comedic,
no, it
but
is.
it's specifically, it's the comedy is utilizing specific characters. In this case, John Hurt, aka for the sake of the film, Peanut, for the comedy relief, which is it abounds.
Men with men.
They all kind of, except for Ray Winston. Well, no, I'd say all of them have moments of like comedic relief though,
Yeah,
where they
they
say
do.
like Tom Wilkinson says some like things where he kind of just seems to be like a real like dummy, like
Yeah, no,
very
they-
innocent almost.
They have, and it's the guy that lives with his mom.
Yeah.
And so that tracks. No, they all have moments of comedy, but the comedy is like, it is very set to mostly either revolving around Meredith, Ian McShane, or Peanut, John Hurt. Like, those are the main comedic reliefs,
yeah,
mostly through the movie, as far as like heavy hitting comedy. And there's a lot of it. John Hurt's fucking hilarious.
yeah.
Hilarious. Like, John Hurt is so funny. He's so good in this.
He's hilarious. Well, like his hilarity is mostly being offensive.
Oh
Yeah,
no, it's
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
this old 80-year-old man that's like, I come from the age when gangsters would just tie a motherfucker in a burlap sack and cut off his ears and throw him in the river type
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Yeah,
the dude
yeah,
is intense.
Yeah,
but
and
it's
and
hilarious.
some of the best conversations are between him and Ian McShane. Who
Yeah.
Ian McShane plays the gay character in the movie, and like they just have some like.
Peanut seems like truly homophobic in that
Oh,
he's like
yeah.
he's afraid
No,
of Ian
no,
McShane's
just-
like queerness.
No, he does. He's
To
like
the
just
point.
so he
He's
doesn't
like,
even
"Ah,
really, he
ah,
doesn't even know how to understand it.
Yeah.
Like, he just like he
It's a little wacky. Where like at the end of the movie, he's like, "I'm gonna go to this gay bar. Do you want to come with me?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know
and
what
so
else I'm gonna do."
that's
Yeah.
actually like probably one of the most interesting things about this film is that evolution, like the road those characters go on together, right?
Yeah.
Because at first it's just like Peanut being like just a piece of shit about all of it, taking shots, and then Ian McShane just being fucking shameless. And like through this moment, through this little space and time that happens for this film, Peanut gets to see. I feel like Peanut gets to more
He learns.
understand Ian McShane's character,
Yeah.
and garners more respect for him. So by the end of the film, after all this shit happens, he's like, I'm going to go to this club. You want to come along? He's like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. You know, like, and it's kind of one of the more touching things in the movie
Yeah,
Yeah.
is this
Yeah.
interaction that these two have.
yeah.
That's,
Just
running
kinda-
parallel.
Kind of an
to the main-
afterthought at the end of the film.
It is, but it's like, it's so genuine and so good. But no, it's funny. It's fucking funny. You're gonna laugh. when
I
you watch
think
this movie.
it's mostly funny in like a true to life way of like the
Oh, it
things
is.
that would just naturally be funny in these moments. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like-
But and that's, so the thing is too with this movie is like there's a lot of shit that is like kind of ridiculous on how heavy it is and how they handle it. Like all this thing that's happening, they've snatched up this kid, they've stuck him in presumably a 44-inch chest.
It was 41 and an eighth inch.
Whatever.
That chest
There's
that
a
they stuck him
dude
in.
stuck in a fucking chest.
I'm going to
the
find a
chest
way to
that's
measure
in
that
Ray
chest
Winstone's
just to see.
bedroom is
It's
44
what
inches.
it's what it is. All right. And so like they've got this kid that they're just like they beat the shit out of. They're deciding on murdering him or not. And this moment of infidelity
I just
happened.
want to throw something in here right now. The kid, as we refer to him, which is the one that was
Le
cheating
Frog.
on Ray Winstone's wife.
Yeah,
The
Or
Frenchman.
cheating with.
cheating with Ray Winston's wife. Says no lines in the movie, and I think it's brilliant the way they do that because he asks him several questions and like he never says a word. Like I think he nods one time
Right.
when
Yeah.
like prompted, like fucking nod, motherfucker. But like,
Because ultimately, it's not about him. It's about
it's not about
it's
him.
about what
It's
his
not
wife
about him.
So-
did.
It's really, and it's interesting because it's about, again, presumably gangster characters. You go into this film thinking these guys are gangsters, thinking these guys are like heavy hitters. But again, when you look at what you know, all we really get from Colin's character is that there's a bit of dialogue when it goes to a flashback with him when the infidelity is revealed. He's like talking about like I think he's a salesman of some kind, and some broad that has working for him fucked up a sale, so he's gonna like, I'm gonna put her out back. So all we know is this guy sells stuff. Still not like know that he's a fucking gangster. But it goes so quickly from it escalates so quickly in intensity to just fucking tearing this woman apart, but everybody involved in this thing is just okay with what's going down. Like,
oh yeah,
the whole
in some
time-
cases more than the guy who was actually wronged.
yeah, no. It's they keep saying like they really like treat her with complete abandon, like,
Yeah.
and they're always like, oh no, you're good, man. Like, yeah, it gets to a point where he reveals that he just like basically beat the fucking shit out of her,
Yeah.
and
It seems like he very kind of underplays what he did to
yeah.
Whoa.
So Colin doesn't underplay what
No,
he did.
he does not.
Colin
Well, but, like-
is destroyed. Everyone else.
This is actually my biggest problem with the movie.
yeah.
Is the
But I'm saying like he
when,
didn't.
when he actually is verbally describing how he handles the situation when she tells him that she's been cheating
It's
on him.
kind of more brutal than the actual physical
So here's the
representation.
thing: it is his description is more brutal. So he describes how he reacted to what she told him, and then later in the movie they actually show you how he
Yeah.
reacted. Both to me exhibit like extreme violence towards women. I don't think I needed both, right? Like, I think that if there's one thing with the movie that I can say, like, I feel like the way he described it to me was much more disturbing.
It was more
than,
brutal. Yeah.
than what like they showed. I don't think they needed to show it.
So-
I mean,
So I think the thing I could say about that though is that that illustrates the impact on him, because this whole film is really about this guy's psychological breakdown.
Yeah.
Is what this is about. And so like his retelling of the tale of the events is much more intense than what we see of the actual events when we see it. And that could be described as a discrepancy, or it could be illustrating the weight that everything carried on him, because he is destroyed.
But like he doesn't like mention the fact that he doesn't know if she's even alive, or
No,
that
no.
she like ran
And
through the
yeah,
glass
yeah, yeah.
window. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
mention that stuff.
And everyone
He
just
actually,
goes,
like,
goes on about it.
hallucinates or,
So it's really
like,
it's
into the story.
Yeah.
fucking weird, because he is. That's what I thought was interesting, is that he does, and everyone just goes about this like it's business, like it's whatever. But like he is completely destroyed by what happened.
Yeah.
But he's not really rationalizing it in the right ways or handling it in the right ways.
No.
But
Well, no.
it is like he is broken. Like it's an interesting, it's a weird thing, because the
Oh,
character.
we love movies with broken people.
Yeah, the character is broken by this, but he's still not truly acknowledging what part he had in it.
Well, it's like he's coming to grasp with the idea that
Yeah.
he knows he did something wrong, but also still like very upset by what his wife
Yeah.
did. So like
And so the
almost trying to justify what
well,
he did.
where this goes, where the movie goes is, and what Collins focus on, and I think they look at it in a very realistic and appropriate way to a degree, is that he's committed, right?
Yeah.
Like it's his idea of, and it's a very old world idea and perception of what marriage is. And,
Yeah.
and he is like, how they show his perception of it shows his commitment to it, So, and they touch on it a few times through the film, through dialogue, of like, I've invested he's invested 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years, and it's this whole thing, and it's like what I really appreciated was when he started really mentally breaking down. Love is one of the things he says is love is a hard graft. Love is a murder. Like love is a thing that like it's really about like the time, and especially tied to the gangster character, presumably gangster character that he is. The work put in to this relationship on his end, like it's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
And as a person that's been with a person for 13 fucking years, like shit is hard. Hard things happen, uncomfortable things happen, and so you make it happen. You make it work. You work through shit, and so like while I absolutely do not condone him kicking the fucking shit out of his wife in this storytelling instance, like I appreciated how far they went for his character to have the depth he was lost in that idea of like, this is the thing that we built, and I would never throw it away.
Yeah.
And so like you threw it, like you want to throw it away, and what more reaction could you expect from a gangster with this specific moral compass in this tiny space? Like it is what it is, so it's not so that's the bit for me with this movie is how nonchalant everyone is at every turn with what's happening. All these guys that we presume are gangsters are just like 100% all the way through to up until the ending where they're like, I'm gonna let him go. I'm like, okay, bye. All right, like it's just whatever. It's whatever to these guys.
Skip right to the ending. The thing I really appreciate is where like when his wife tells him like, I've been fucking around, and like he like immediately goes to like his bank of like, no, marriage is about like this and commitment, and like you have to try. You're not doing your part.
Yeah.
And, like you're not doing your bit, and and he goes to all these like little like fucking like just
analogies
like go-tos, like just go-tos
the jungle thing, and she just says, well, I don't feel that way, and then he just turns. Yeah, well, I made note of that.
Yeah, when he turns, he's just like, well, fuck off, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, he turns from a hurt dog to a hungry wolf at that point.
He's just like, fuck off.
I'm not hurt anymore.
Yeah,
tell me his name. Yeah. I'm gonna fucking eat.
It immediately becomes about what's his name. I'm gonna find this guy. I'm gonna cut his dick off. Like it immediately becomes about that. And so as somebody who has actually went through what Ray Winstone's character went through in this movie, I did identify with that because there are different stages of this, right? Like you go through
and that's what I actually like about this movie is it shows it's a very visceral look at those stages.
And the scene where like he's imagining her being in the room when the guys are outside.
When he's completely broke.
He's like, well, leave me alone with him. Leave me alone with him. And like that kind of goes on for several scenes, and most of it is where he like hallucinates her being in the room when really she's like like alongside a road,
potentially dead.
Yeah. She's almost dead. She ends up not dying. She ends up getting picked up by a bus.
Picked up by a fucking.
We don't know if she survived on the bus. I mean, the last we see of her is getting on a bus.
She is in a ditch.
She's fucked up.
She's crawling.
She's
crawling, but she's in a ditch.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really kind of related to the character just because I've actually went through that and known how he felt. And like I feel like that bit was written by somebody who knew how that actually felt.
For anyone that has gone through the shit that was gone through, it is a relatable thing. And when you look at it through the lens of the character, the context of the character that it is, how it's handled makes a degree of sense. But yeah, it's hard shit. And that's what I really appreciate about this. As we're talking, it really dawned on me. It's just like it shows the stages of how you handle that, right? Like it's like just blood, and then it's like, well, I mean, there's more than just blood. Like maybe like there's a scene where he's talking to the kid after he brings him out and takes his hood off, and he's like, I could fucking kill you.
You owe me that. You do owe me that.
But the mother of my children, which is a very adult thing to identify for a gangster, especially. Like, this person that no matter what, you're going to have in your life. Because that's the thing. When you have kids with somebody, it doesn't matter if, like, you separate, whatever. Like, that's still, as soon as you have kids with a person, that's a person in your life for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's never, like, that tie doesn't, like, you fuck some person, you have a relationship with some person, then you break off. Like, yeah, you can leave them in the dust. But when you have children with a person, that is an unbroken connection to your life, to their life.
Yeah.
That never stops, you know? And so he's sitting here like, I could kill you and she would hate me. If I didn't kill you, maybe we could have, like,
it seems like the only reason he doesn't kill him is at the hope that he can get her back.
Well, not even, but that's the thing, and that's what I'm pointing.
I mean, he says that verbally, like,
I know.
I would like to just murder you, but, like, if I murder you, she'll never talk to me again.
Well, and that's the thing, but that's what I'm talking about. I don't think it's necessarily just even him getting her back. It's just, I could make this very hard for myself for the rest of my life, or I could not.
Yeah.
Because even if he doesn't get her back, it doesn't matter because she's the mother of his children.
Yeah.
So that's a relationship that you have to respect and understand in those circumstances. Yeah. So it's a very strange circumstance and a moment to capture, but it does a good job capturing a lot of the nuances of the moment that it does.
Yeah.
Is the thing that I say about this movie for sure, is that it gives you a good look and expression at the anger and the frustration and the hatred and the vulnerability and the victimization. It gives you a little bit of everything in a very small, short dose, but it's very effective at looking at the thing for what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
I only know Ray Winstone from this and Sexy Beast, and I see a lot of similiarities.
He's pretty great.
He's really good.
Yeah,
he's really good. Well, after the moments where he
if
really
you haven't
breaks,
seen Sexy Beast, highly recommend.
Another great cast.
Probably if you like Sir Ben Kingsley, it's probably his best performance.
Yeah.
Ray Winstone really doesn't do a lot of like mainstream like American shit.
No, he doesn't. That's more his wheelhouse, is like kind of the British mafia noir kind of thing.
Yeah.
That we get like from this movie. But yeah, any final thoughts, or where are we landing on this?
I think the film is, it's fuck, this movie is a powerful thing. There are some things that could be too much for some people, especially in today's day and age.
The violence towards women was like, I gotta say, early on they do the audible version where like he's describing what he did to her,
right.
And like that was a little rough for me. Like that was pretty intense.
No, his.
But
just
then they go back later and show it. I don't think they needed both. I really don't think they needed both.
They didn't need both, but I think it worked mechanically for what they were trying to do, regardless. It could be too much for some person one way or another, and it's, society has shifted and moved so far in just a few years that a lot of things that 5 years ago would not have really got people fired up. Like, this is one of those things that could get you fired up for sure. But when you look at it objectively, flatly, as a snapshot in a life, as the story that it is, and can take it that way, it's a very interesting insight into what it is. I mean, it's raw human fucking emotion. It's a bad situation that nobody wants to be in ever. And as a person that's been in a situation like that, it's a good snapshot of that moment, of the things that you feel. of a person, for a person that's been through the shit that this guy has been through, not to say that this fictional character's actions are justified whatsoever, but as a person that has been through a situation similar, this is like you want to, you feel the things this guy has felt. Like it delivers.
No, I've got exact
It
comparisons. Like I didn't actually like beat the shit out of somebody,
Right.
but like I have an actual. I can tell to you guys like off mic
for legal
Yeah.
issues.
Like, I had
Yeah.
I had a thing that happened with this situation
Right.
where like I got somebody in a corner, and it was just like, all right, this is what it is. Like you're gonna
But-
fucking tell me, and you don't get to leave. Like it was like an impersonation.
Yeah.
kind of a
So the thing is,
situation.
this is a very real thing that people that have been through a thing are gonna feel. And yeah, it's a great snapshot of the human emotion, of the human condition in a moment, and apply the context as need applied, and understand where this comes from, where it's happened, the setting and time. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of identifiable moments in this movie. Yeah, it's
All right.
it makes a conversation.
You've done fucked the movie, John.
I would say
Done fucked it.
fuck, this movie is delightfully compact, but surprisingly complex.
It is very
a
surprising.
lot to
complex, for
digest,
sure.
a lot to think
It
about,
is.
and the writing is just impeccable.
Yeah.
I would,
And also for anybody that has, if you get to watch this movie and you get it with the extra features, if you get the monologues, after the movie,
Epilogues,
after
The
the end
epilogues,
credit,
yeah.
after
Yeah.
the end credits, yeah.
dude,
no,
the
it
John
wasn't.
Hurt-
It wasn't on the movie at all.
No,
it was
no.
in special features.
Special features,
If you
yeah.
can
Yeah.
watch this with the special features, the John Hurt epilogue is fucking
Which
amazing.
Yeah,
we probably haven't said enough. John Hurt,
God.
like
incredible,
Amazing.
legend.
He comes in
Legend-
as a dude.
legendary
In
performance.
this movie, he
Yeah.
comes in as a fucking wrecking ball.
He is
He
the comic relief without being comic relief. I mean, he is.
Oh
Fucking
yeah,
dead
no,
serious, and
he's
it'll
the
make
comic
you laugh.
relief, but it's like the sincerity, like it's just goddamn, like it. His performance is fucking
Fantastic.
ridiculous.
I
in
just,
this movie.
I'm just gonna say, fuck this movie. Really spoke to me. I think it's obviously a good pick by Reese. Kind of piggybacking off of the In Bruges pick I had.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a better movie than it is a pick for you. Just
Yeah.
because like it's so similar to the vibe of In Bruges
Yeah,
that I get what you were going for. Like you're like, okay, I see what you did there. I'm gonna do this.
yeah,
And
I agree.
I appreciate that.
I think I like the day after we recorded, I thought of The Art of Self-Defense, and I wished so much that would have been my pick.
Just because it's so like
It's-
such a
it's
different vibe.
Different vibe, but connected in some degree.
Yeah,
They're all about masculinity and
we
so
could-
much to
we-
talk about.
We could easily do a whole episode about the art of self-defense
Yes,
as well,
we
and
could.
Jesse Eisenberg
Yeah,
in general, where like I feel like he's like the guy. Like if you want to do like a biopic and make it rewatchable and entertaining, just get Jesse Eisenberg. He can play anybody.
yeah. I mean, just get the best director, the best actor, and
Yeah,
the
yeah, no,
best
it's
writer
fine.
in
It's
the
fine.
world,
It's fine.
put them together and make The Social Network. It
Yeah,
works.
it's fine. We tried to watch that, but John bailed,
Yeah, John.
and
what are we
we'll
thinking?
be back.
Yeah, we'll watch it. We'll finish it.
We will watch that. Yeah. So John, we were just talking about like we tried to do a double feature with the art of self-defense, and it was a Social Network, and then like John Brown, like it was granted it was like 2:00 in the morning. John Brown's like, I gotta bail, but I will finish
did.
this. And Reese and I were sitting there after John bailed, and we were like, we don't really feel right finishing this, so
Yeah.
we're gonna finish that the next
All
time we
right.
get together.
All
So,
right. We're doing
you
it.
know
We're doing it.
what that is? That's the equivalent when you start watching someone. The bigger the group, the less noticeable. But if you start watching a movie with like one or two other people, and then like an hour in, someone leaves, that's kind of like you're having sex and someone says, "Oh, I gotta go." And
Yeah.
you go, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll jerk
I
off."
just splooged on your
Like-
leg. My bad. I'll be right back.
It's like,
I'll finish you off with my
I
tongue. Just give me
understand.
60 seconds.
I get
and
it.
you
I
never
understand
see
you have to
them again.
leave.
Right,
I feel like, I don't know, do I finish? I don't feel like
Just
anticlimactic.
go home, just
Literally,
sit in a
that's
corner
fine.
and
Start the whole
contemplate
process
universe.
over again. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I definitely would like to finish that.
Yeah,
film.
we got to finish that. We got to watch The Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah, Big Lebowski should be a thing this Friday.
Yeah.
I'm available. I am avail.
Friday nights have been available, so I think that we should all make a pact that we're going to try to watch The Big Lebowski this Friday.
I'd say we
I'll
could
do my
even
best.
finish Social Network and watch The Big
Yeah,
Lebowski.
like
Alright.
I mean, honestly, we're only committing like 2.5 hours at that point. So
Yeah.
Right.
or 3.5. I don't know.
Yeah.
whatever.
And maybe someone will pick Brazil for their pick because it's a really good movie to pick for your John's pick. Okay.
So
I-
something that you are not on the ends of is that what John apparently did not pick this week. He and I had a pact that one of us would pick the next
Yeah.
2 weeks. So my pick is already picked just
Oh,
because
okay.
John is not picking it. And I assume that like he's not picking it just because he knows that I'm like at the point where I have to.
Well, no. The
He
reason
gets a
why
free pick.
the
Now I have
reason
some
why I wasn't
theories,
going to
but-
pick it is just because the sequence of events for the picks that we've had, the film that I have decided to pick, just works so well in conjunction. I think we need a break. I think we need an upset
genre,
to the
yeah.
cycle. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
And I wanted to be that, but
So this is unlike anything else you've ever picked?
no. It ties
Unlike
in.
the last two picks.
It ties into what we've been doing, but one of us needs to break this thing. The thing that I'm going to pick is
Oh,
part of the same
Okay.
cycle that we've been doing, and I wanted to break that cycle.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's the best opportunity for me to just
Okay,
get this
okay.
pick off my back.
Let's just do it, John.
well,
All right.
Let's talk about it.
My
John
pick-
Brown
Movies.
is going to tell us right now.
theater?
Huh?
You want to do theater first?
Yeah.
We'll do it last.
Okay,
that
I'll do
last.
last.
theater
Okay.
last.
All right, so my pick is going to be, and I'm going to sound like an asshole if I get this title wrong, but I think
Oh, foreign
that I
title.
know it. It's a Dogville.
Oh, Dogville.
Okay.
Dogville.
Yeah.
I already own that
That
I knew
is
this
the
was
pick.
coming.
Voodoo.
We've known it was coming, and that's why I just like in this sequence of film that we've done with In Bruges in 44-inch chest, like it just fit so well that I just felt like I couldn't not pick it. Right,
Yeah.
like it's a
Yeah.
movie that I was gonna pick sometime.
It's very surprising because I
And-
know very little about Dogville, and what I know, I would not have guessed it's anything to do with In Bruges or 44 inch
It's-
chest, at least vibe.
It's a
vibe
very
I hope
oh
it's not.
no, it is, and that's
Wow.
I'm trying to end this cycle, and that's why
Okay.
I'm passing the pick that I was gonna make on to you
Yeah.
to reset the cycle. Like we need a new cycle, right?
Yeah.
But it's just such a good opportunity for me to pick this movie.
By continuing the cycle, I demonstrate how we need to end the
Yeah,
cycle.
it's just a better sequential
I get it.
separation. It is very different. It is very different, but it's heavy. It's
Yeah.
heavy and it has gangster overtones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dogville, starring everyone's favorite Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not mine,
True.
but yeah, I get
It's
it.
one
I
of
get
it's
it.
one of every
Who's
and
your
people
favorite
like her.
Australian?
People
I have to
like
think
her.
about it, but I even like Hugh Jackman more than I like Nicole Kidman.
Hugh Jackman's not good, dude.
I like Hugh Jackman. Have you
Hugh
seen Les
Jackman
Mis?
can be good.
He's fantastic in
not
Les
bad.
Mis.
Kind of bad.
He's great in Wolverine. He has Logan.
No,
Have you seen Logan?
Okay, so the movie with him.
You just said two things. You said he's great in Wolverine. Logan? Like, he's
Well,
great in
he's
Logan.
great as
the
Wolverine.
film
He's
that
extra
he
great
did,
in the movie
the
Logan.
film that he did with Jake Gyllenhaal is fucking awesome.
Oh,
Prisoners.
Prisoners.
Yeah.
Yes,
Prisoners.
exactly.
That's a-
He's fantastic.
Hugh Jackman,
I,
he's not bad,
I
man.
did,
He's
I
not
did get
bad.
it. You know, it's funny, man, the way this fucking voodoo thing works. I had a conversation with you in confidence. And I was like, hey, man, The Prestige.
Oh yeah, with Hugh Jackman.
Yes, with Hugh Jackman. And also one of our favorite directors,
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. I was like, hey, man, I haven't seen this movie since it came out. And, like, do you have a copy of it that I can borrow? Because, like, I'm looking on Vudu, and it's, like, fucking $20 everywhere to buy
Right.
or rent. Like, you want to watch Prestige? It's $20. And I remember seeing it when it came out, and it came out the same time as
The Illusionist. Yeah.
which is one of those things where it's like two competing studios are trying to come out with the exact same movie,
yeah,
and
for
like
sure.
it's built against each other. So naturally, I hate both when I see them. I remember liking one and disliking another, but I don't remember what order. I don't really remember
Oh,
the movie.
The Prestige is far better than
That was
The-
probably
The
one I liked then.
Illusionist.
But I haven't seen it. So anyway, what's fucked up is I say this to Reese, like, hey man, do you have a copy of this movie that I can borrow? Because I really want it. Like, I haven't seen it since it came out, and I'm in deep need of a rewatch. And he's like, yeah, I've got you covered. The next week, the next Tuesday, fucking Vudu comes out with their weekly deals. Prestige is on sale. Since you got me into Vudu, Prestige has been $20. $20. The second that I say verbally to you, I want to watch Prestige, boom. It's a deal of the week.
See, sometimes
$9.99.
Sometimes-
Prestige is yours.
like Amazon listening to our conversations can be good. It can be good.
Right. Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. Like we totally, it's so good
You
that
know?
we get harvested. No big deal.
Yeah. Just like, man, wouldn't it be so cool if like Criterion sold all their movies for $5?
Hint, hint.
No,
Wouldn't it?
I see what we're doing here.
Okay, so Dogville is different
Oh,
to a degree.
We're doing Dogville.
We're doing Dogville.
Okay.
He said it.
Um,
You're not paying attention.
It's
I was paying attention. I just didn't know that we were gonna like talk about it this week.
well, we're talking about the differences.
Okay,
and
yeah,
if it lines up as a pick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want to
so-
scare someone off because like, oh, this artsy movie about gangsters.
Now,
Because I'm assuming it's
and that's
not
the thing. Dogville is artsy as fuck, and that's as an art nerd / Nazi. That's why I haven't seen the movie in a long
You're a
time.
Nazi.
Yeah.
Long time. I'm an art Nazi. I'm an art Nazi. I'm not an actual Nazi because those guys.
You know who else was an art Nazi?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Actually,
The OG Nazi.
He was a Nazi artist.
he was a Nazi artist. I don't know if he was yeah, I don't think he was an art Nazi.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think he
was like
got kicked out of the
He was
school
an
by
everything Nazi.
he
art
became a Nazi
Nazis
because
He put on his jeans
he
one
couldn't
Nazi
make
at
good
a
enough
time.
art
for the art Nazis.
for any. Yeah, exactly. He became a Nazi because of the art Nazis. That's what happened. All right. It's a.
I think that
haven't
fits
seen
in.
it.
I think Dogville is directed by German directors.
Oh, nice. Now there's a lot of transitory tones here from the movies we've watched that does involve gangster subject matter. It is very character performance driven. It is very intense. It is very unique in that it is filmed like a play,
Yeah.
and that's a thing that I kind of feel like we should say to people so they have an idea what's going in.
Am I wrong? I believe it's like it's a neighborhood and there's houses, but each house is just a platform.
It's a set. It's a set in a warehouse.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
set in a
Yeah.
warehouse.
So this
and they
is-
have chalkboard. They have chalk lined out buildings.
Yes.
And brought in specific pieces of the buildings.
So I did Bronx Tale, which I thought was very much shot like a play.
Yeah.
And so this is
This is
literally shot like a play.
literally shot like a play.
Or a
Literally.
rehearsal. I know some.
we also did for your birthday. We did the Red Shoes, which
Yes.
is very much shot like a play.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, this is very stripped down. It is all character. It is all performance. And that's why I went to hear it because we've had two films that are gangster, that are performance driven. So here's a film that is gangster tones but completely performance driven.
Yeah.
And it's very heavy, and like that's why the pick that you're gonna have, Dustin, is gonna be so perfect to take us out of this dark ass shit.
No,
And we can curve into
Do you
want
wanna
to
give a
fun
preview?
stuff.
or a hint
My,
of-
pick,
we
my,
need some
my
fun
pick
stuff.
will be perfect. I just
We need some fun. We need some fun stuff.
I
that
think
feels
it
good.
would have been more perfect if it was your pick, but it's fine.
It's okay.
I have not seen Dogville, so that
Do you want to give a hint of what your pick is going to be?
No, John knows
No,
what my pick
no,
is.
no, no hint,
We
no hint.
we pre-discussed and we decided that this was a pick that needed to be made.
Exactly.
And
it's
like,
gonna be
I
such
told
a
John
fun
basically
shift.
like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I was
Fun
like,
shift.
if you don't pick this next, I'm going to pick it. And
Yeah.
he's just like, oh god, I really want to pick it.
I did, but he picked the thing that he picked,
Yeah,
and I
get it.
had to make it happen.
You
I
gotta
had to get
do
this
it.
movie off my chest.
I already told him that his pick was a better movie than a pick. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
obviously,
see, yeah,
I'm
you-
already
So-
ready to say the same thing to you, John.
What I'm trying to do here,
just piggybacking off of
want
In
us-
Bruges here.
I want to get us a spot where we can pick some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my favorite movies are fun movies.
Yeah.
that I would love to talk about.
2 weeks ago, I almost
on this
picked Captain
podcast.
Ron.
I know, and you know what that would have done? If you would have picked Captain Ron, I would have.
I learned that if I pick Captain Ron as a movie, then John goes down this dark hole where we just watch slop.
I think I'm gonna pick a fun
No.
sci-fi movie. next.
What we
have
would
you ever seen
do-
Captain Ron? Do you know what Captain Ron is?
Who's in it?
Dude,
It's
you just
literally
called
a
Big
fucking-
Trouble in Little China slop. You son of a bitch. Let's fight words,
it's a fucking it's like a
nonsense.
family comedy
Fuck that.
starring Kurt Russell as
And
a
it
fucking
involves like a
sea-
boat, right?
Sea
Yeah.
captain. Yeah, he's
Okay,
like a
yeah.
sea captain.
I'm vaguely
So,
familiar with. I've
You're
not.
sitting here. You're sitting here.
I almost picked that like 2 or 3 weeks ago just because I was just like, it's like I think I even said that like I think it's like as a movie it's like it's a 2 that I'm gonna try to convince you is a 3.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Do
You,
it.
you know,
Pick
like
it.
it's just like a goofy ass movie, but it's I have this memory of seeing this movie in the theater with my family.
Yeah.
Like so. I love it, you know, just because,
Dude.
and it's a Kurt Russell performance.
And it's
I
not
love Kurt
bad.
Russell.
Ridiculous.
It's not bad.
It's been a while
It's
since I've seen
over-
like a good young Kurt
So
Russell movie.
that's
I
what I'm
need to
saying.
watch
This
that.
motherfucker, you're saying this, and I'm.
You know what? I might pick Captain Ron as my next fucking movie.
You know what? You know what? I gotta
motherfucker.
remind.
All right,
I gotta
let's do
remind
this.
y'all about. So your next pick is now. Your next pick is in 2 weeks, so it'll still be September. I'm saying the next 1 or 2 or 3 picks are all going to be in October. I know we don't
Okay.
need to do horror movies, but if you want to do horror movies,
You give me the fucking
we
green
are
light.
gonna,
right?
I'm gonna
get
do at
to
least
a point
one
where
horror
we are gonna have a horror
All right.
theme. And actually, he brings up a good point, and I had thought of this.
We
Like,
should do it like when it gets to the holidays. We should just be on
like,
that theme
like
probably.
maybe
Honestly-
we should be taking a hiatus from the normal picks, and we should be talking about.
Yeah, we should.
So when is your next pick? Like,
Okay. I'll say because of our bi-weekly schedule and nobody cares about Christmas movies, we could starting in
have a couple
October, we
picks,
could just do
maybe.
horror movies for the rest of the year for
So,
Halloween. I'd be
yeah.
totally
so-
cool with that.
2 weeks from tonight is the 27th. That is your pick, Reese.
No, that's your pick.
Oh, that's my pick.
Yeah,
And then 2 weeks from that will be the 11th, and that'll be your pick.
and I'm definitely doing a horror movie.
And then 2 weeks after that will be the 25th.
So that'll be John's pick.
of
again.
October.
That'll be John's pick. So it's I'm 27th. So I think I should do the first because after that, like 2 weeks after, so it's like the next episode's the 27th. After that's the 11th. After that's the 25th, and then after that we're in November. So like if we're gonna do Halloween picks, it needs to start
Yeah.
like
Next episode.
next
Yeah.
episode.
Some Christmas movies. The Christmas movies I would pick are also.
Oh
horror
yeah.
films.
I've got some really fun.
We've had conversations about Christmas movies, and I don't necessarily want to watch like.
No,
We got some dude. Horror Christmas movies are fucking
We
awesome.
can also just not celebrate the Christmas season.
I'm totally
And
fine with that too.
I'm fine with
But it's
that.
people say Happy Holidays. Halloween is a holiday, so therefore we
Yeah,
can
we
be
just
celebrating
carry on.
Halloween in December.
Jack Skellington.
Not that
Nah.
one. I don't want to talk about that one.
No, we don't. That's no.
I
shame.
honestly, I'd be down to do horror movies for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That makes it easy to pick stuff. We can do double
I don't know.
features. We can do fucking
You know what?
movies a week.
I think that I think that honestly, I think guys, we're moving to a point where we can just like start picking movies we just really like, right?
yeah,
I've been
yeah.
in that mode for a while, and I'm
so
actually.
I
Gonna,
have some shit.
I actually
that I'm gonna
are-
pick for
like
sure.
John knows what I'm picking next, and I'm not changing. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck what.
No, it's gonna be
season
so
it is.
good.
The
I-
next
I-
couple
I-
of my picks are
uh,
probably going to movies
I
I've seen.
wanna-
He's gonna bitch about it. It's fine.
We just got to figure it. We got to pick up on what we want to like. We just need to shift focus a little bit each time, and we're good. So
Yeah.
like we
But
need
like,
some more lighthearted stuff.
All right.
I don't. If there's
This
is
is-
there a better genre besides like
this is enough
sci-fi to talk about
conjecture.
endlessly
Reese-
than horror?
Reese,
Nah.
tell
Dude,
us.
I can shit on so much
All right,
horror.
all right,
I will
yeah.
shit.
There-
I will
there's-
fucking hate on so much horror.
We're way
I
too
love
we're
horror.
way too high on the conjecture here. Like Reese, tell us why people should go to the theaters and what they should be seeing right now.
People before they go to theaters should, if they want to, watch Dogville with us. They can stream
Yeah,
it.
you should do that
on
first because that
Mubi.
movie is amazing.
I have never used.
I'm
Mubi.
excited to watch that.
The-
show
She's
again.
super sexy, by the way.
Who?
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
she's super sexy. I don't think that I'm going out of line here. I'm happily married. Everyone here is, but
Oh yeah, she's super sexy.
basically, irrevocably, Nicole Kidman is very sexy, and that you should appreciate that.
Some
about
human
her.
beings are just iconically beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
no,
happens.
she's very good.
And she is the face of AMC. We come to this place ads. They're just perfect. They're so good.
God,
Her speech.
I just give it up to you, Reese, for making Nicole Kidman not sexy.
She is the face of AMC.
Is she?
You don't. I guess you don't go to a lot of AMC theaters. The ad that
No.
plays before every AMC movie of Nicole Kidman walking into a theater and talking about how great movies are.
Oh my God, does she say it that way?
Movies is.
How great movies
Y'all know how
is.
good movies is. Hell yeah, brother.
Hey, I mean, if you target
Are
an
you
ad
sure
for
that's
the
not
Midwest,
Julia
then
Roberts?
She does a different accent for each region.
yeah, dude. I mean, it's marketing. It's fine.
Oh, aren't movies great? Hey, come
Yeah.
down to the theater with me, Nicole Kidman.
Have a moose head, eh?
I love taking my Tim Hortons up to the AMC. You know.
When's the next Rick Moranis and when's Rick Moranis and her going to get together, eh? They should do a movie, yo.
Dude, so that is the thing I wanted to point out when I watched Fargo not that long ago.
I fucking
Dude,
love Fargo.
the fucking genuine Minnesota dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Ma'am, what seems to be the problem? I'm answering your questions.
You could
John-
you could fucking take a shot and get shit faced.
John,
Completely
do you-
shit faced.
do you ever see the,
Did
Did you ever see the Fargo series?
No, I want to watch it now.
I've heard nothing but great things about that.
Okay, so the
I'm
Fargo
sure it's good.
series is like what do they call that? Like
An anthology. Each
It's an
season
anthology
is a
series.
different story.
So the first one has what's his fucking name? The dude from fucking Shameless.
Richard H. Macy.
no, Rich
No.
Macy's in the movie.
William
Yeah,
H
yeah.
Macy. Yeah.
He's in the movie.
William H Macy. Wait. Oh yeah, he's in.
Are you thinking of Billy Bob Thornton? I know he's in the show at some point, but William H Macy's in the original
Yeah,
movie.
He
he's
is
in
in
the movie.
the. Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's in that. Fuck, I'm trying to think the first season of that show.
Is
Like
it-
there's somebody who plays like the version of his character.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's the dude who plays the fucking Hobbit.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah, Martin Freeman. Yeah.
Which Hobbit?
Bilbo in the Hobbit movie trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ones you
Yeah.
haven't seen.
Yeah. And also if you've ever seen
He's the Jim version in the British Office TV show. He's the Jim.
Okay.
But that was
okay.
like the first thing he was
All right,
ever.
all right. I got you.
what's my favorite Christmas movie, which Reese hates, is the fucking one with it's the British one.
British one?
Fuck.
There's so many British ones.
What's the British Christmas movie with the
British Christmas movie.
Christmas movie with
Christmas movie.
with all the British people?
Oh, Love Actually.
yeah, Love Actually.
Ugh,
Oh,
why is
so
that
Lo-
your favorite?
So
Where's that- how's that go?
so Love
Christmas
Actually.
movie, Love
Martin
Actually?
Freeman's character in Love
Okay.
Actually plays a dude who's a porn actor on a porn set with
He's a body stand-in for like
Yes.
sex scenes.
yeah, he's a body standing for sex scenes, dude. I hate fucking holiday movies. I do, but when we get close to Christmas, we will be watching Love Actually.
Dude,
I'm
there
sorry,
are-
I fucking
so,
love this movie.
There are good holiday movies, okay? Like, I don't give a fuck about Christmas.
No, there aren't. There aren't.
I'm not Christian.
I'm ready
but
to
there-
fight you both when
there
it comes to
are-
Love Actually.
There are super good movies set in the time period of Christmas
Yeah.
that happens in the world that we live in,
Yeah.
right? Like, the narrative,
the
the story doesn't have
stepdad-
to be pro that. It's just
I-
living in that
I don't
space
want to
and
do
time.
this
The
because like I know
stepdad from
it's been.
Shaun of the Dead is fucking phenomenal in Love Actually. He's like,
Oh yeah, Bill Nye. He's
oh
I
Bill
love him.
Nighy in Love Actually is like a fucking god to me.
Yeah, he's great. But no, I don't really think this is like a fun conversation because it's been like done to death. But like I do think Die Hard is like a perfect Christmas movie.
No, dude, Die Hard's a good fucking movie.
It's a
Die
good
Hard's
movie, but I
movie.
do consider it a Christmas movie,
Yeah, no,
right?
it is.
So
It's
like,
absolutely a Christmas.
Yeah.
Anything that happens
Die
at
Hard
Christmas
2.
is a Christmas movie.
Die
Like,
Hard
your
2
backdrop is Christmas. It's a fucking
also a
Christmas
Christmas movie.
Yeah,
Just so
I
you
don't
know.
care about
yeah.
Die Hard 2, but Die Hard 3 is great.
I'm just telling you, they are both Christmas movies.
Dude,
'cause they both
there
take
are
place
good
during
Christmas movies. There's a Christmas movie.
And
I
Die
think
Hard
it's
2
Christmas Stories.
Only,
a horror movie I
only
saw.
slightly worse than Die Hard as an actual movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
no, it's
they're
pretty good still.
Like to you'd be like, oh, Die Hard Christmas movie, amazing, but like Die Hard 2, kind of a piece of shit. Like they're kind of on the same level.
Die Hard is like perfect. The first Die Hard movie.
Die Hard's not perfect.
It's
Die
pretty
Hard's
perfect.
like kind of like
It is what it
Everything in
is.
that movie has like a
Die
setup
Hard's
and a
perfect,
payoff.
dude. You're living on the
Every like
on-
tiny detail in that movie has a setup and a payoff. It's fantastic. It's perfect.
All right. Well, as somebody who's seen Die Hard,
Die
somebody
Hard.
who's seen Die Hard more than you.
As somebody who's seen Die Hard more than you in the movies, I gotta say, you gotta come to the theater with me, Nicole Kidman.
Join us next week for Die Hard.
Anyhow,
Die Hard.
there are solid fucking Christmas movies. There's
Die
a sweet horror Christmas movie that came through Shudder a couple years ago, Advent Calendar,
Yeah.
and it's a really interesting take on the Advent calendar, especially in horror for sure. What they do with it is super fun.
Have you seen? I think it's like a Swedish movie called Rare Exports.
Yeah.
That movie's great. I love that movie.
There are good Christmas horror movies. Like that's a very sweet space.
Yeah.
That
It'll be in our
works
future.
really well.
It'll be in our
Definitely.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Mark
sure.
my words.
We have the holidays are coming up.
The best holiday.
But do we tell people what they
I
should
wish
be
we had
watching in
extra
theaters?
picks.
I never got to say where you could watch Dogville. We got interrupted again.
We
Oh
got-
fuck! Well, let's
We got
let's get
interrupted
to the
even.
ends here. Let's. The
I was
entrails.
trying.
We got
Dogville.
Let's eat the entrails.
Dogville is streaming on Mubi. I've never used it. I've heard great things. Check it out.
About what? Oh, what?
Dogville
is streaming,
is streaming on Mubi.
Mubi.
Mubi. I've heard if you like curated streaming services, I believe what Mubi is I think they only have like 31 movies, and they get a new movie every day. But then that movie only stays on for 31 days.
Interesting.
So every day there's a new movie that's only going to be on for 1 month.
So at any one time there are
Fucking
31
weird
movies
service,
you
but I
can choose
like
from.
it.
But the next day there will be 31 movies, but like
One is different.
One's
is
different.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm into this. This
That's
is
Yeah.
this
sweet.
is a good
Yeah,
idea.
honestly,
this
that's
is a
and
good
it's,
idea.
and it's
for a
curated
streaming
stuff,
service.
right?
Yeah.
There's themes, right? So so if it's on Dogville, it could only be on Dogville, or if Dogville is on Mubi, it might only be on for another week or two. So it's something to look into.
Yeah.
But either way, I've heard Mubi is great,
Nice. Now, that's an interesting setup.
yeah.
That's dope.
and it's probably on your. You can get it on your Fire Stick. It says there's an Amazon app. Weirdly, it's not currently available to buy on Vudu, but I believe it's available through disc to digital on Vudu.
Okay.
So
Free
$5.
$2 if
Right.
you don't know how that hack works. Look it up.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
I believe the DVD is also easy to come by, and other places on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, coming to theaters this week.
Talking Heads.
Woof. That's next week, actually.
Probably nothing, I'm sure.
A Haunting in Venice, the
Yeah.
third movie in the.
This is a haunting.
No, well, I mean, it's the third movie in the
The Christie. The
Agatha Christie
Agatha Christie.
Poirot movies.
Okay.
Death on the Nile and
All right.
and Murder on the Orient Express.
I have no
early
attachment to those.
returns on the reviews here are that it's boring, which is somebody who got turned on to Agatha Christie as a 7th grader by an English teacher who was into Agatha Christie.
This
can tell
sounds so
you-
fucking boring.
I can tell you that all of Agatha Christie's shit is boring. It is. It
Yeah.
is.
It is what it is.
But like, if you like,
if you like
mysteries,
boring English stuff,
if you
there
like
you go.
boring British mysteries.
with like stellar casts because
Yeah.
that's like the gimmick
and
here.
by the way-
Tina Fey is in this.
By the way, I just want to take a moment here to rant. If you actually want to hate on British mysteries, there's a movie called Gosford Park, which is an absolute abomination. when it comes to like wasting people's time. This movie got nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture, and I sat down to watch it that year. I had watched like every fucking movie that was nominated for an Oscar this year. Gosford Park was unwatchable. Like, I struggled to get through this fucking boring ass drawled piece of shit. So as we sit here and talk about how boring a Poirot Agatha Christie movie is, and all the movies thus far have been boring, but as somebody who read all the shit, I've kind of enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Oh, you have been watching them?
I've been keeping up just because I read all the books.
Yeah.
And so like I've been keeping up, and like they're not entertaining. They aren't.
If you want to go see
dry
this,
as fuck, but like I kind of dig
Hey, man.
mysteries. They don't do mysteries very much anymore.
All art
No.
is a palette thing, all right? All art
is.
is a palette thing.
have you
All
watched the Knives
there's
Out
genres
and
to all medium.
Oh yes, and those were
sequel?
great.
Those are great, yeah.
Glass Onion.
Glass Onion?
Glass Onion
Dude,
to me
yeah,
was
no.
like
Murder
fucking
mysteries are
phenomenal.
fucking sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Glass Onion was fucking fantastic.
Well,
I love mysteries.
if
I do love
you
mysteries.
if you need someone to see this with in theaters, let me know.
I know nobody else wants to go see it. So if you want to go see this movie, and we got
Dude.
time to make it work.
The only reason I would
I'm
see this
down.
movie in theaters is because I was going with someone who wanted to see it in theaters. So like,
Why wouldn't
if
you
you
wanna
want to see
see-
it, then that's
why wouldn't
reason
you wanna
enough
see
for
a
me.
mystery,
Also,
man?
Tina Fey is in it, and like she's like kind of my ride or die. So
Oh really?
yeah,
Oh no, I'll die.
Tina Fey all the way.
I will totally die on Tina Fey.
Dude, mysteries, takeaway is mysteries are fantastic, and it is a palette thing. All genres, all art is a palette thing. That's one thing that you have to keep in mind. When we shit on a movie, and we will shit on movies,
Yeah.
we do acknowledge that it's our palette making us take a shit.
I
on the
actually
movie.
every
You know,
week
Yeah.
and you're
I
right
have,
to your palette, and we're right to.
I have
like,
a
we
movie
have the
set up
thing.
to shit on, and I had one set up to shit
Yeah.
on, and I didn't have to because we are pretty
Well past
all over
time.
this, so.
Movies we would have talked about last week if we'd recorded an episode are The Equalizer 3 and The Nun 2.
Jesus.
so-
Anything with just twos in their sequel name, you can just discount.
Yeah.
They can't come up with a word.
The Equalizer and the Nun together at once.
Literally every trailer I've seen for The Equalizer 3 is just Denzel Washington literally being interviewed saying like, yeah, people like the first two, so we said we should make another. That's the commercial.
No.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
It's not a
Dude.
great time for movies right now. We still need to go see Gran
Christ.
Turismo.
I just loaded up
Equalized.
Facebook, and you guys have to see this Pulp Fiction, like probably independent artist movie poster. That's pretty dope.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's not bad.
Just popped up.
Be on my back at some point.
Yeah. I'm going to see Bottoms this weekend, but I have
Say
to
bottoms.
Bottoms. Yeah, it looks like a very very funny like teen queer high school comedy.
Is it about bottoms?
Yeah, it's about like lesbians. They like are trying to set up a scheme to get other girls at school like to fall for them.
Yeah. Nice.
It looks very funny. And then yeah, that's playing in only bigger cities. I have to go to South Bend to see that. But
Oh, son of a bitch! You're going with AJ.
I am.
I'll be at Notre Dame.
I mean, I'm just going up for the day. Maybe you could come up and meet us. That'd be fun. But yeah, look into stuff. There's special showings going on right now. Not in smaller towns like us, but like you said earlier, Stop Making Sense is a concert movie that's coming out. That looks very. I mean, I've seen it before. It's great. It's just like quintessential art house concert movie. It's fantastic. If you love talking heads and weird art pop, it's for you. I already have my ticket to and it's IMAX. Doesn't that sound incredible? I don't know.
It sounds definitely upgraded to a normal theater experience. Like
Yeah.
That kind of a thing would need to be experienced the way that you want to, which is with all the regalia,
Yeah, I mean,
all the sonic
I'm-
and visual
it-
regalia.
it feels like the closest thing I could ever get to seeing the Talking Heads play live.
Right.
So, yeah, and there's other special showings going on. So just look into your,
Watch fucking
local,
movies, people.
like
That's what we're trying to tell you.
AMC, art house. Look at
Watch
your art
movies.
house theaters.
Watch movies local.
Watch movies.
Watch movies wherever you can. Engage in art. That's my takeaway.
Next time
engage in art.
I think I'm
Watch
gonna
The Woman in the Dunes. Just ignore
Yeah.
everything
If anybody
else
wants
you've heard.
film
Yeah.
tattoos, talk to this guy.
Yeah.
I
Talk
would
to that
love
guy.
to do film
I want some
tattoos.
film tattoos.
Like
I
the
gotta
women
think
in
of
the
some.
dude.
I have an
tattoo.
awesome idea for a tattoo for District 9, or no, not District 9, Chappie and Short Circuit.
Okay.
Because they're the same character,
Yeah,
but they're different like sides of the coin to a degree. Like they're different
Yeah.
parts of the spectrum of the personality and character. And yeah, so I want to do a lightning bolt, like electricity streaking through the center of the image, and then Chappie's head and Johnny Five's head, looking in different perspectives on either side of the page, up and down, using their facial features. So Chappie with his ears probably like kind of angled back slightly, and Johnny Five with his mad face on, his eyebrows down.
Yeah.
You know, and do what the fuck is there's a geometric pattern that happens in nature, creating patterns like that for the background
Yeah.
of the electricity, and then really fat ass graffiti text on the top and above and below, either bouncing out of the image, become alive, and that would be fucking dope.
Yeah.
That would be super dope.
That'd be awesome. You should
Become alive.
draw that up for sure.
See, that's the thing. I don't draw shit up. You know, if I know you're gonna do it, you want to do it. I want to draw it up the day that we tattoo you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
But all kinds of film tattoos, everything. But watch film,
Yeah.
people.
Watch
That's
films.
The takeaway. Watch
That's
film,
the takeaway. You should have
Read
every
too.
episode.
all of it. Just experience.
Watch
This
films,
medium.
learn about films, think about films.
Maybe even make films.
Explore.
Or help people make films. There's probably some fucking weird kid in your neighborhood
Yeah.
that might want to make a movie. If he had like $100, it might help.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I have a movie on my present list, which is about a dude who had a vision to make a movie.
Yeah.
I will leave it at that. So in the
Alright.
future, that could happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's gonna do it.
Stay
we're,
tuned.
We're gonna close the window on this bitch.
Yeah. Watch the movie we picked, Dogville, and join us
Yep.
soon.
Go to the theater and watch whatever the fuck you want.
Anything. Literally anything.
Even that Elemental movie, which looked like a piece of shit.
No,
They
no.
should-
See,
It wasn't great.
I'm much more encouraged. Like, instead of watching bad movies that come out in the mainstream, just watch bad movies that are super old because they're much more like entertaining.
I want
Yes.
people to go to.
That's
I want
fine.
people to go to the theater.
I think watching any movie in the theater is better than watching
Well,
no
it
movie
is
in the
of
theater.
course. It is, of course.
Let's
But yes.
keep that going. We got a writer strike coming, which
The writer strike and actor strike are
Which,
happening
honestly,
right now.
the writer strike could just not be good for the future of film. It just can't.
Honestly,
So it doesn't.
both of them could.
It doesn't
could,
matter. It doesn't matter. All right. So
I actually had down to talk about the 28 years later.
I would love to see that happen.
Are you aware of this, Reese? Like, so
talks.
there's a
It's not
Oh,
I read into
a
it. It's
third
not
movie in the
confirmed.
28 days later.
yes.
trilogy.
So, but this one actually,
Redemption.
Yeah.
An actual film
it returns the writer
and director.
and director, and like the talk is there was some conversation about whether or not Alex Garland actually should be the writer and director because he at this point has
He's got some
skins on the
stuff
wall.
under his belt.
They're also talking about the return of Cillian Murphy
That'd be
for the
cool.
lead role, so for a 28 years later movie.
That would be really cool.
And like apparently this is all in the works. It's in pre-pro and they're all very serious about it, but it's like the writer's strike. So like
I mean, that's everything. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably another couple weeks. We're gonna start seeing like
yeah.
stuff slow down.
So
I mean,
why
one
would
movie
that,
came out
Why
this
would that
week.
matter? Like we're talking about the writer of the first movie writing the movie. So like,
Because
is he
it's
striking?
a writer's strike. He's not allowed to
If
write.
you're in the union, you're not supposed to be writing or acting.
It's,
right
it's like you're like a picket line crosser. It's
Yeah.
like we
Well-
will murder your family and
that's stupid.
torture your children.
now. Solidarity, man.
Yeah.
You know. So I get that, but
Anyway,
in the spirit of an artist, like you just fucking.
Yes, but you
You-
can't survive on the spirit of an artist. You do need support, and so
I am in
Yeah,
favor
I
of this
know.
particular project. Like that to me sound like Alex Garland. Honestly, is like should direct that movie.
Yeah, that'll be incredible.
100%. Like
that franchise needs
yeah.
the proper sequel because the Americanized, hyper-violent, cheesy horror movie piece of shit that was 28 Weeks Later can fuck off and die.
Is that Guy Ritchie? No, not Guy Ritchie. What's his name? Who did the first one? It's the same guy who did Slumdog, right?
I don't have the name in front of me, but yeah.
Because I agree. I think Alex Garland would do a better sequel to 28 Days Later than what's his name.
And I know they did the 28 Weeks Later, which was like kind of like non-affiliate to anybody.
I think it was like a straight to DVD thing, wasn't it?
It was
28
like
Weeks Later? Oh, it may have been straight to DVD.
It was basically it was not affiliated with anybody involved with
Yeah.
the first film.
Yeah.
So it has long been
terrible.
thought that if they did a third film, it would be 28 months later. But nope, they're going right back to the original team, and it's been almost 28 years. So
that
28
is
years
down.
later, here's Cillian Murphy, 28 years older.
Yeah.
Like, let's fucking do it. And I'm all in on this idea.
That
This
is
seems
my
fucking
favorite
awesome.
horror film.
I think that.
It's
Hands down,
28 days later. 28
because
Days Later is fucking
it is
phenomenal.
a beautiful fucking film.
It's one of the best zombie movies ever made.
It is, dude. To me, it is the best because it's the best film of those. Like, yeah, no, it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
excited
hope that
about the
project
prospects.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
All right, we should probably shut the fuck up at some point.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, shut
Yeah.
up. You guys talk too much.
All
Best
right.
episode ever?
Oh,
It's
I mean,
an
we had
episode.
a point where we just like
Yeah,
tuned out.
We
for, like,
missed all of my awesome commentary.
We don't know.
about-
We don't know. We could have only missed
We have
2
no
seconds.
idea how much
there's-
we missed.
There's a muffled version.
We have
talking
no
about
idea
that no one
how much
understands
we missed.
Because I'm old and I have dentures and I'm quiet, so nobody's gonna hear any of it. 'Cause it's
All
gonna be
right.
working
No,
off.
it's all legible.
Yeah. That's
Next
gonna-
week. Watch Dogville.
Watch Dogville. That'll be the source
Yes.
of the next episode.
And then prepare for horror movies.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, actually, I'm not
not
going to
yours.
pick a horror movie.
No.
I guess I'm just going to miss out on the Halloween thing
All right.
because John's a pussy.
Here, Reese. No. Fuck off, dude. Like, okay.
Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? Where's my gauntlet? I threw it down, motherfucker. Aha!
All right. So what I was gonna say is, okay, you're gonna have to pick this fun movie. Perfect opportunity for Reese to set up an awesome horror movie.
yeah. I'm definitely picking a
Yeah.
horror movie next.
Because the movie he's picking is fun.
Yeah.
So that's the common thread here. That's the only thing I'll give up. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
So you can think about fun movies.
Yeah.
Picking
And
Captain
then
Rod.
with horror in mind. All right. So pick Captain Rod. We're watching goddamn Big Trouble in Little China, homie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. That is
Look
not
at
slop, dude. That movie's good.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We only went way over. So,
Like 15 minutes. It's fine.
peace.
Depends on what you're aiming for. Yeah.
Right.
Who knows how much time we lost to the silence. Anyway, have a good evening. Fuck off.
Bye.
Peace out.